yesterday and then attended Super Bowl's opening night in San Jose. Drake May's appearance in this game follows in the footsteps of the greatest quarterback of all time, Tom Brady, and has spoken to him about this kind of thing.
One of the best things he said, there's no shortcuts to it. There's no shortcuts to putting in the work, and the proof's in the pudding. And knowing that the shortcuts that that people take or can try to take, it's not worth it. Get the most out of what you put into it, and he's been great at that, and he obviously showed that throughout his career.
May added his shoulder is fine. It's not expected to be a problem for Sunday's big game against Seattle. The two teams will hold a more formal practice today. Celtics had last night off. They open up a Texas back-to-back in Dallas tonight. Grandy and Max have the pregame at 7:30 and the tip-off at 8 here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. The NBA trade deadline is Thursday. Multiple reports overnight indicate the Clippers are in advanced talks with Cleveland about a trade involving James Harden. The Bruins have placed Elias Lindholm on injured reserve. They've activated defenseman Jordan Harris. Their final game before the Olympic break is tomorrow night on the road against Florida. The New England Revolution yesterday signed team captain Carlos Gil to a 3-year contract extension. And at the Beanpot, it'll be Boston College against Boston University in the final. BU escaped Northeastern in a shootout 3-2. BC got a pair of goals from Bruins first-round draft pick James Hagan in the early game to beat Harvard 5-1. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by IBEW 103 and Nika Electrical Contractors. IBEW 103 celebrating 125 years of power in Greater Boston. To find a qualified contractor for your next electrical, telecom, or security project today, visit thepowerprofessionals.org. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 6:30.
Attack the rim, deep three, violent two-hand slam. Wow.
98.5 The Sports Hub.
Ladies and gentlemen, I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Toucher
You might hate me, but you're listening.
and Hardy
Don't bother me. I'm at the Pickle Palace.
on 98.5
I know what I'm capable of.
He said something about peanut butter, right?
Yeah. Boning, baby. Make America nut again.
That's gross. That's disgusting.
Let's talk about cheese.
What are you going to have for lunch?
I was at dinner with my wife and a friend.
Kitty, kitty, pussy, kitty, kitty, kitty. Flap, flap, flap.
Shut up, I'm trying to talk to Paul.
Toucher and Hardy
Good luck trying to put your finger in it when there's a million holes.
on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Let's go.
He made my omelet this morning.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning. We are Toucher and Hardy, Town Fair Tire Studios, 617-779-0985. You can watch us on YouTube. Subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube, and you will not regret it. It is assault to the senses. If you want to hear our podcast, if you're shown its entirety, you can download that wherever you download your podcasts. I just got an email 5 minutes ago that I think is kind of funny. It's about the Patriots, the rally that they held. We were giving them a hard time for the Warriors thing, which, some people got pissed off about, and then some people said, yeah, pretty corny.
Well, some people also saying, like, it wasn't even Vrabel who was saying the Warriors come out to play. It was Matt Collins. And I said, oh, no, it was both. It was Vrabel up there doing the 12. If you can do my thing, please. It was the... Right.
And so it's interesting that I guess the story is that Mike Reese came out is that Vrabel was playing, he wanted them to be Road Warriors, and he run out of Road Warriors WWE stuff. So he ended up showing them stuff from the movie The Warriors, and apparently that resonated so much. It's really... Nice. Feels like you would have to be a complete idiot that you're just sitting there and then they just show you something from a movie and you go, that's it. I love that outfit that they're wearing. I love the leather vest with no shirt on underneath it.
So the Texans are the gang on roller skates that we have to beat.
Right.
That one.
Yes. Yes. Or they could be the mimes with baseball bats.
Right.
But nonetheless, this is about something else that happened at the rally, which I do think is very funny and I was unaware of. Chris says, I meant to call in yesterday, but was too busy at work. I went to the Patriots rally on Sunday with my girlfriend because we live in Foxborough and they gave us free tickets. So once we're done waiting in the lines and finally get into the stadium, we get onto the field, which is pretty cool. As you know, as cold as it could be, and they kept dragging it out so bad. They kept saying, we got another surprise for you. And then they bring out some linemen from 20 years ago that no one knows to take the mic. After each speaker at the mic, they'd have a DJ do 2 songs, old corny tracks for people to dance to, I guess. It was clearly being dragged out. Here's the best part, and when we decided to leave. Sarge is on mic saying, who loves Super Bowl commercials? We're going to give you a sneak preview. I asked you not. They played a 60-second long Hellman's Mayonnaise commercial on the Jumbotron. As if anyone cared to see it. They just dragged out this whole rally out so bad when people were frozen and just wanted to see the players. But yes, they made us all watch a minute-long Mayo commercial. Thank you, Chris.
Oh, boy.
So that is, yeah. I mean, I'll tell you this, is that I don't know if they're in like cahoots, but yesterday we have the TVs on in the background and local news kept showing that teaser of some Ben Affleck commercial with like George Costanza and 2 people from Friends.
It's going to be the Duncan commercial this year.
Right, but
so
they
no
can't.
Jordan, sadly.
Yeah, it's probably wise. They were showing that, and it's just okay. You know, it's not that exciting I mean, a clip of a commercial that is to play is not that exciting. But I think Hellman's might have paid, and that's bold of Hellman's Mayonnaise to buy like, you know, a $2 million ad just because, you know, people go crazy for the mayo. You know, that's something else.
I feel like that's almost one of those products you don't need to advertise anymore. You know, like mayonnaise is something you're going to purchase. What kind of mayonnaise you're going to get? You probably get Hellman's, and then you're good. Like, why advertise at all, much less to a captive audience where it's like, all right, finally, we're going to get the word out about this product. No one knows about it.
Yeah, like, why don't you just have, like, a Kleenex commercial? You know? It's something that people have. And one more thing that
and are they doing anything new with the mayonnaise? For Kleenex, at least, sometimes they'll do the lotion-infused facial tissues. Like, oh, okay, people need to find out about this. Oh, they've got the decorative boxes now. We got to get the word out. Has Hellman's changed anything?
Did you see okay, so when you say stuff like that, I think of like when they people will go, don't use products like that. They have the chemicals in them that can give you cancer. Like, don't use these suntan lotions. Like, there's that whole wave of like podcasts.
Yes.
I don't know the validity of it. I'm not even saying that it's wrong, but there's that whole thing about don't use these products. Have you ever seen that Dr. Peta? I don't know if it's Attia or it's Attia. He's like the longevity guy. He started as like a big podcast guest. He's like a little guy, but
I've seen this guy.
Yeah, and he was on 60 Minutes and stuff, and I guess CBS News just hired him. He is quite involved in those Epstein files that were released. I mean, a lot. As much as anyone that I've heard. And how do you keep a job? How do you keep a job if this Epstein thing is as big as they say it is, and it's, you know, captured the public's attention, and elections have been won and lost based on what lies within? How could you be in those files communicating with him after he had been convicted? And he's saying, and it's not like doctor stuff. He's saying like euphemisms for vagina and things like that. How can you keep your job? And then every expert that's on a podcast, now I want to know, well, what else are they up to? If you know, like your personal doctor, I'm not worried about. Like a guy that's just doing surgery at Boston General or, you know, whatever, I'm not concerned about. or Mass General, I should say. I'm not concerned about, or Beth Israel, I'm not concerned about. But if you turn yourself into a celebrity doctor and you are going around and doing podcasts and proselytizing all these new ways to very expensively extend your life by a year, I want to know if you're in the Epstein files. And then if you're not, are there repercussions for being in the Epstein files? Because this guy is like a podcast maven. He is a algorithm champion. If he's on YouTube and Instagram, he's all over the place. Like, he made his hay on these podcasts and on TikTok, and I don't even have TikTok, but on like Instagram, on YouTube. He's, everyone's big guest.
Yeah, I don't know that you can get any legal trouble at this point.
Oh, no, not legal trouble.
Yeah.
I just don't know how, like, if your doctor was in the Epstein files 1,000 times, would you want to keep going to that doctor?
Especially this guy who, forget about your own personal doctor, and the answer is no, Fred. I would not. But this guy who is not just about, anti-aging, he and a lot of these doctors are all about, this is a way just to live better. This is about
listen to me, a random guy.
This is
you don't know me, but this is how you should be living your life. Yes.
Right, not just about a way to get rid of wrinkles. This is I have the answers here. No, I don't think you can continue doing what you're doing.
And he said he never went to the island, or he never did any of that, but he wanted to go.
Well, there was also the thing with this Adia guy where he wrote in his book about how he felt very guilty about not being at his son's side when his son had this medical emergency. And, he's like, I was out of control. I was selfish. I was doing all this stuff. And looking at the timeline of when that happened, and also some of these emails with Epstein, like, oh, well, where were you? You never said where you were and why you couldn't be with your wife when your son stopped breathing. Were you with Epstein? Were you on the island then? I know you said you weren't on the island, but were you on the island?
But even if you weren't on the island, you were desperately trying to get on that island. You wanted on that island, and he couldn't have talked to him closer to his death if he wanted. I mean, he talked to him in the spring of 2019. Epstein, whatever he did, but say he killed himself on August 10th. I mean, he was talking to him when Epstein was Epstein. And I'm not talking Welcome Back, Kotter, baby.
No.
I am talking about the Epstein files.
Juan Epstein. OG Epstein.
That's right. He says that he doesn't have a letter from his mother that he was not at the island. He said he regretted putting myself in a position where emails, some of them embarrassing, tasteless, and indefensible, are now public.
Wait a minute. He's upset that they became public? Is that what you just said?
Well, I understand that, if you're privately emailing something to someone, that it's not necessarily something that you would say in public. I obviously understand that, but you have to also understand that 2019 is when Epstein died. He was going to jail, at least going to jail at that point.
Yeah.
He was full on. I would find it very difficult to believe you didn't know something was going on with him. And so my whole point is, and believe me, I know a very surface level of the Epstein thing. I know Woody Allen and Bill Gates, and I know the allegations that, Trump had a relationship with the allegations with the Clintons. I know the Clintons have to testify in front of Congress. I know the very base thing. I know child sex ring and all this stuff. I don't know, the ins and outs of it. But it seems to me that you would know, right before he went to jail, that something was afoot. I can tell you that I would stop emailing the guy at that point, unless he was, my best friend from, high school, and I was just, trying to, support him and going, you'll be all right, you're going to jail or something. I'm trying to put myself in a position where I'd even email the guy.
Yeah, I mean, even
you'd like to think he'd be, I probably wouldn't even email the guy in that. I'm just trying to think I'm trying to give the real benefit of the doubt and think of that. But it's not like they're high school friends. And would you be that interested in the guy as a client? I highly doubt that all of this guy's clients get 1,000 emails from the guy.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem like he was, this is the other thing when it comes to this stuff, because I'm sure we've all well, Fred, I'm sure you and I have been friends with people who have gotten into like serious legal trouble. John, maybe not. You know, John's pretty straight arrow. Or you've
not
known,
for a while, but yeah.
But
yeah,
you
yeah.
know
when
people.
I was younger, yes,
Yeah,
I
or
knew
you've
people.
put it this way, not even friends. You've associated with
Right,
people who
yes,
found themselves in
course.
very, like bad situations, legally, morally, everything. It happened to me.
Yes.
And you, I guess I just want to be a little bit careful. Just because you get mentioned in one of these files, your name pops up, doesn't necessarily mean you had any connection with what he was doing. Now, for Jeffrey Epstein's part, I don't think he was making much of a secret about this. I think he was.
Well, you want to hear an email between the two of them? Included in the documents released Friday was an exchange from 2015 with his Atia, which had written a note redacted by the Justice Department that bore the subject line, "Got a fresh shipment." Epstein responded, "Me too," with a photo that was redacted. Atia responded, "Please tell me you found that picture online, ... bastard." "Afraid not," Epstein said. Atia wrote back, "The biggest problem with becoming friends with you is that the life you lead is so outrageous, and yet I can't tell a soul." So when he says fresh shipment, and that's a humans, that I would, that's just an odd way of speaking.
Yeah.
It could be out-of-state Zins. You never know. Maybe he just got some 11 milligrams.
Hardy's got Zins that have an unknown language on the side, and it's not like and it's not like an exotic.
It's concerning.
It's not.
I saw this yesterday.
Okay, so
yes.
it's not Spanish, and it's not like Chinese.
I should Google Translate.
It's very it's very German, or it's a Finnish situation. It might be Finnish. It is a language that I am it's something very Anglo.
Yeah, I'm with you, 12. That is concerning.
And he bought them in Florida, too, which is what's odd about it, because you would think that it would just be in Spanish if it was in another language. But it's very much in
Is it Dutch?
See, this is the thing. Is Finnish a language, or is it Dutch?
Well, those are two different languages, but I think we're in the right region of the world.
No, I know we are.
Europe,
I know we are.
Yeah.
It might even be like Icelandic. It's something like that.
It's got some Icelandic Zins over there.
Oh, nice.
It's a lot of consonants. It's like my last name.
Yeah,
with
and
like a million
the
consonants.
little circles over some of the vowels too. I think.
Oh, the umlauts. We got any umlauts over there?
So my last name has 4 consonants in a row. You know that's German, right?
Yes.
Like that's like the way it goes. Italian, you have a vowel at your last name. German, you got a million consonants in a row. Does it say what language it is? They don't even know. Google Translate doesn't even know. Ask Crash.
Google Translate, you got to give it a direction to go in. Is that the problem?
Well, I just did like the lens thing, and I'm just gonna type in the words here and see what pops up.
Okay.
We can. But my point is this whole world of podcast experts. Oh, Dan has interesting information.
Okay.
Dan, go ahead.
Yeah, just wanted to mention quick your question about there seems to be no repercussions. Well, there's reports that he's already been fired by CBS. He was only hired by CBS during the recent changeover with the new ownership there about 3 weeks ago.
Barry Weiss, I do know the name there. Right?
Yeah. And so supposedly she's on her way to can him.
Yeah.
And then the other one is repercussions is a guy up here in New Hampshire, Dean Kamen, the guy who invented the Segway and all that stuff.
I read about that.
Yeah. He's had to step down from that up here. And then on your Zin things with he might be getting the originals because that was originally originated over in Scandinavia. All the girls use that over there. That was where that all started there. So
it's Swedish.
Oh,
wow.
Well, Dan, you were on top of things, my friend. Thank you.
He's got the OGs in, so very good. All right, take care, guys.
Thank you. Well, those are from a long time ago. That's when they had to smuggle them in.
I'll check the expiration date on these.
All right. Well, he got fired. I just figure, can I draw a line? Like, if you're like running with Epstein with all this stuff, like I do think you should be fired. You know.
Yeah.
I think you should be able to make mistakes. and keep your career. I do think, I think you should be able to make it. You can say something and you make a mistake saying something, like you get a DUI, things of this nature. You get in a fight. There's things that you're a human being. You're going to make mistakes. The hundreds or thousands of emails with Jeffrey Epstein. That maybe you shouldn't keep your job anymore. And then the reason I brought it up is because I probably just was going to do it anyway. But when you said Kleenex, it just reminded me of podcasting and internet and doctors on these shows that are experts on being a man, and and there's all these little tricks like don't use petroleum jelly or whatever.
No seed oils at all.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Stand on the dirt with your feet. And I always smelled like a con. Like I always smelled like this guy's like these guys are, these are fleecing people. Because I don't think a real doctor would dance around on podcasts all the time. It just seems like you would be involved in research and in studies with your colleagues. I always questioned the idea of a doctor wanting to be a celebrity.
Right. Aren't you busy being a doctor?
Yeah.
Doesn't that take up all of your time?
Like, why do you got to be a celebrity? No, in fact, Dr. Oz has turned it into a whole political career. But it goes along with my line of thinking. I've always been very skeptical of that. And then I'm just skeptical of that whole genre of podcast.
By the way, these ends are good until October 2026, so suck it.
Okay, give me one. All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
You're listening to Touch.
Hey, we are Toucher and Hardy, and before we get to what happened last night, we got an email about Sunday's Pats send-off ceremony, and someone called in and they said that they were there, and at one point, Sarge, who we said yesterday did a good job emceeing the thing.
He does a great job.
He made a big announcement. Now, you have to understand it was 8 degrees outside, but here, so imagine you're standing there in 8 degrees on the field of Gillette Stadium, and you hear this announcement.
Super Bowl season comes around. Everyone's excited for the football.
That's not Sarge, is it?
No, that's the guy setting up Sarge.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Sarge has a hype man.
Super Bowl season comes around. Everyone's excited for the football, but a lot of people are also excited for the commercials in between the action. Well, for joining us here today, you get a sneak peek at a Super Bowl commercial that will be airing next Sunday. Thanks to our friends over at Helmets.
What do you think of it, crowd, huh?
Oh, boy.
All right.
You get to watch a commercial.
Oh.
It's a bold move to announce that as if you were doing a favor to people. Get up! Get up! Here's some commercials. That'd be funny at the going into break of every Seinfeld if they used to go like, "Hello, are you ready for some commercials?" You like that?
Wow.
I'm gonna play that going into every break. Hang on.
Super Bowl season comes around. Everyone's excited for the football, but a lot of people are also excited for the commercials in between the action. Well, for joining us here today, you get a sneak peek at a Super Bowl commercial that will be airing next Sunday. Thanks to our friends over at Helmets.
What do you think of it, crowd, huh?
I got to figure out how to best.
TATSAC knows early birds get the worm.
Right.
What do you think of it, crowd, huh?
And then imagine cheering that. I guess you're just reacting to anything they say because you're so cold. Real commercials from the Super Bowl.
It kind of sounds like an angry old man who can't hear very well.
This thing's not up until a week from now. We're going to give you a commercial. You want to see it? We're getting paid. All right. Very good.
All right. Let's get to the big goings on last night that we know Adam 12 is excited about. And even John Wallach was imploring me this morning to make sure I did not ignore what happened last night at the Bean Pot.
Yeah.
He's like, Hardy, Bean Pot, big goings on.
Uche made a couple of big saves. It was right after.
Yeah, turnover. Yeah.
BC had gotten on the board. They score! It's Higgins again. Back door along the near side. He bangs it home. Make it 3-0 BC.
Is he one of the guys?
Yep.
All right.
James Higgins, last year's #1 draft pick, 2 goals and an assist last night for BC, and the first-round draft pick from 2 years ago, Dean Letourneau, a goal and an assist. And last night was a chance for you to see the Bruins' future. Letourneau is a dump truck. You just put him in front of the net. An enormous individual. Those two guys, if they can play anywhere close to what I saw last night, big impact.
Well, remember, Higgins was no good last year, and then everyone that was around that program.
No, it was Letourneau who wasn't good last year.
Letourneau. I'm sorry. Letourneau.
Oh, I thought it was Higgins.
No, it was Higgins. I thought that was no good last year.
No, Higgins was real good last year and decided to come back to school for his sophomore season. Letourneau had no goals and 3 assists in over 30 games for BC last year.
Okay.
And this year is much different.
So Letourneau is the big kid.
Yes.
Okay, so he was the kid that they said to be more patient with because he's so large that it takes time to get his feet under him and all of that stuff. So they turned out to be correct.
If you watched that game last night, and
I did not, John, it goes with my long-standing tradition of not watching the.
I understand. What I'm saying is you were very, very happy if you were a Bruins fan to watch those 2 kids last night.
Well, that's good news.
Yeah, and BC really piling it on at the end.
This long drive, they score! It's ripped in up top. That was Hemming who just blasted one home. Or actually
actually Gustafson, and Gustafson will seal this one for BC.
Good for Judd Surratt, stepping right in, doing the NESN broadcast. Now he's got to go to Florida to do the Bruins game tomorrow night. Usually that's Tom Caron's deal. Tom Caron will call the Bean Pot. Not this year.
Well, spring training starts pretty soon.
That's the reason. First workout, I think, is the day of the Bean Pot final, which is why he didn't do this game.
Yeah, so spring training starts on...
The pitchers and catchers report Sunday. First workout's Monday.
There you go.
All right, so BC gets 5-1 win over Harvard. What about Adam 12's precious Northeastern University Huskies? Tied at 1.
Advance to Rich Covian. Matthews shoots. He scores! Jacob Matthew with a rocket by the blocker. 2-1 Huskies.
All right, what's the problem? They're up 2-1 over BU. What could possibly go wrong?
2-on-1. Rukanakis shoots. He scores! Nick Rukanakis, top shelf. We're tied at 2.
Rukanakis? Yeah. Rukanakis ties the game. They would go to a shootout. Uh-oh.
Game on his stick. Here's Cole Hudson. He'll wheel in to the slot. Fakes. He scores! That puck just had enough to trickle over the line.
What do you think of it, crowd, huh?
That was Boston University's Hudson with a T, Hutson, with the game-winning shootout goal to defeat Northeastern in the shootout, whatever it was, 3-2?
3-2.
So
there you go.
When you go, speaking of Sarge with these commercials, you know when you go to the movies around here, if you get to the theater really early, they'll be showing commercials. And I don't really have a problem with that. Where my parents live, it's the Regal Cinemas. Ooh. And at the Regal Cinema, you go in and say the movie's at 7:30. Say you get in there at 7:30. I'm not lying to you. They play 10 minutes of commercials, not previews. Commercials.
Man.
Previews is part of the movie experience.
Right.
Previews aren't even a problem. Like, I mean, the previews are part of the whole thing. I don't have a problem with that. But like commercials, like Dua Lipa for BMW or whatever the hell she does. It was a big commercial that they show. And it's not even commercials for the movie theater. It's commercials for products. That I have a huge problem with. If I bought a ticket to something and it's supposed to start at a specific time, why should you make money once that time starts? Anytime before that, whatever. Like, okay, you're struggling business. You need to get some extra ad revenue in. Fine. I can be on my phone and everything else. But once those lights go down and you have a captive audience and the movie's supposed to start, I'll allow you the previews, a couple previews. But the 10-minute, I'm not exaggerating, 10 minutes of commercials.
Sneak previews.
You get a sneak peek.
That whole, oh boy, does that bother me when I go there. Ugh. And then I make a mental note of the products to not buy them.
And
That'll show them.
Then you go home and you pen an angry letter.
Get the quill.
Well, I write my senator. And I say, can you call the Better Business Bureau?
Right.
Said, if you want my vote in this next election, you'll enforce these things with Regal Pinnacle theaters.
Well, we mentioned Adam 12's precious Northeastern Huskies. What about your precious St. Louis Cardinals, Fred? Yesterday,
Wow, there's really nothing going on last night. Tommy Edman?
Well, we're saving all the media day.
Yeah, right.
Okay. And you're correct. There was nothing happened last night. I didn't hear what John did in his first update, but
no Bruins, no Celtics.
No, nothing.
We had media night.
The Mariners got Brendan Donovan from the Cardinals yesterday. 3-team trade, also including the Tampa Bay Rays.
That's right. Brendan Donovan was the last good player that the Cardinals had of any value. He was the old age of 29. They had to move him.
There's a righty that Seattle sent back to one of the teams whose name I wouldn't even begin to try and
He's
pronounce.
the 99th best prospect in baseball.
95th.
95th. Well, I guess it depends on what list you look at.
This is what Chaim Bloom does. This is what he's really good at.
I look at Kylie McDaniel's top 100.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Oh, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Absolutely.
Mariners also traded Ben Williamson to the Rays. So there you go. No more Brendan Donovan in St. Louis. Freddie, you gonna be all right?
I mean, I was expecting big things, but now I'm going to have to sit through a shocking rebuild.
Who the Cardinals have left other than Arenado? Who's left?
Arenado's gone.
Oh,
they
that's
traded
right.
him
He
to
is
the
gone.
Diamondbacks.
He is gone. I forgot.
I mean, they have their shortstop is probably going to be an all-star.
Is that Wynn? Mason Wynn?
Mason Wynn.
Mm-hmm.
They have Jordan Walker, who never can hit. They have an all-glove Victor Scott in center field. Lance Newbar in right field. They have Adams, or not Adams, that's their old first baseman. Some fatso that plays first base. I don't know. They're not going to be very good. They have pitching. They've drafted a lot of pitching, but I don't think they're going to be very good.
And I don't want to, sell it short. There were big events last night as number 11 Kansas took on number 13 Texas Tech. Darren Peterson, big finish to the game. Ended with 19 points. Played 35 minutes last night.
Whoa!
5 more, he would have played the whole game.
Yeah, and one good NBA trade rumor. James Harden to Cleveland, it looks like.
Yeah, and Harden sat out last night's game for personal reasons, and then it's Ty Lue is the coach there, right?
Yes.
He was basically crapping on Harden after the game, saying that you got to be a professional and you got to play.
No.
I guess Harden pouted.
When he found
out about.
This is the fourth team he's quit on. I'm not surprised.
It's funny. I saw him play. I saw him when he was in town this year, and boy, was he good. It was so surprising, too. Like, was so good.
He is one of the best scorers of all time. You want a basket, give the ball to him. He will score. He is one of the best that's ever done it. But the package that comes with that is awful.
Well, that's the thing about him and Doncic is that you see the speed and size and versatility of everyone in the NBA, and then you see how Harden and Doncic can just light it up, just score almost at will, and they're so unathletic. Like I don't know how they're both big bodies, but they just have this ability to create that without any kind of quickness or speed or any kind of energy.
At least Luka tries. Well, I mean, sometimes I think you look at him and he's out of shape and looks like he's not trying.
He doesn't try on defense.
Well, no,
I mean, I watched the finals.
Well, I guess what I'm saying is Harden will go into these periods of his life where he just doesn't want to be with the team he's with, even though he fought like hell to get there.
Oh, I'm aware of that.
And then,
and even though they're giving him the team plane and allowing him to take it on days off to go to strip clubs.
That was Houston, who he quit on. Then I want to go to Brooklyn to play with Kyrie and Kevin Durant, and then he decided he didn't want to do that and had a phantom hamstring injury and sat for about a dozen games until they let him go. And now he's with the Clippers and decided, you know what? I don't want to be here either, even though I fought like hell to be here. And so now, okay, great. Go destroy another team.
But didn't he sit out because of the trade rumors? I thought he sat out because he was pissed they were trading him.
Well, the way I saw it, and I
don't know that. I just assumed
way we may be reading the same thing differently. The way I saw it is based on his history. Okay, I'm done here. I want to go to a place. I want to go to a team that's good.
Oh, that's not how it sounded to me. And based on what Ty Lue said, it sounded to me like he heard that he was going to get traded. He heard the rumor and then decided he wasn't going to play. So that's what it sounded like to me.
Hey, I have as much information on this as you do. We're reading it differently.
I'm sure he doesn't want to go to Cleveland. I mean, I don't think he cares about winning at this stage in his career. And, yeah, I bet you he doesn't want to go to Cleveland. So we'll see. All right. We'll be back in just a moment. Here are the headlines.
Essential Sports.
That's what I want on my tombstone.
On the Sports Hub.
Eddie Trunk approves.
He likes a deep cut from Prince. Don't worry about it.
All right. We are Toucher and Hardy. By the way, Fox 25 has made the good-looking anchor lady go to San Francisco to stand in the media center at 3:48 in the morning. And it's a real packed house there. Bertrand was absolutely right when he was being snide yesterday. That place is packed to the gills. There's not one human being walking in the background. There's not one human being sitting down. She is the only person in that building right now. That is... Can I get a cosign from my two partners here?
There's no one there.
Did you see one other person?
No.
Did you see any movement of any kind,
No.
even behind her?
And that's a situation, if you are in her position, you are looking for people to show activity where you are.
Yes. The idea is that, yes, you would be standing in some kind of situation where things were happening. The news, you see, would want her on location with something happening.
Right.
Correct.
And to show excitement, I can't believe they made her go out to San Francisco and get up that early in the morning and go on television. So forget us. So she has to get on the air at 3 in the morning. Well, no, she probably has to get on the air at like 2 in the morning.
Yes.
So
2:30.
So
yes.
she's got, and she's a woman and got to put on makeup and everything. So she's probably got to get up at midnight. So I got to tell you, holy moly! Just so she can stand in an empty convention center.
There was probably a conversation where they went to Gene Levanti, the other anchor, said, "Do you want to go?" And he said, "No, send her. She's newer. I have tenure in this position. I'm not going anywhere."
I feel really bad for. I actually feel really bad for her. I mean, she's just got to stand there with a camera person at 2 in the 2 in the morning.
2.5 days and 12 hours from now, this place is going to be bustling.
Yeah, 12
I know it
hours
didn't look
from
like
now.
much now, guys, but Friday afternoon, Thursday even, this place will be packed.
It's not only the makeup and the hair. You have to appear happy. You have to, even though you're tired as hell, you have to appear happy to be there.
Yeah, there was. I am not exaggerating by telling you that there is, and it was a wide shot. It's not like close up on her. Like you can see a lot of the background. There was literally nobody there. I feel really bad that they made her go. All right, Jordan, Bill's lady, she took to Twitter. This is from the other day, and I can tell you exactly what she was doing. And this tells you this tweet more than anything gives you kind of a eagle-eye view into what's going on in her life and how they spend their time. This was from Coach Belichick's Twitter account, which she runs. College football, year one. Took lumps, which I thought at first said something else. I thought it said took dumps, and I was like, yeah, you take pictures. College football, year one. Took lumps, a lot of noise, some cheap shots. And then a bunch of space. Noted, period. Bunch of space. Receipts collected, period. Lots of space. Still here, period. Not going anywhere, period. Doubt us, period. Please, period. Go Heels, period. Leadership is earned one day at a time under pressure. Admiral Hyman G. Rickenbacker, U.S. Navy. So, someone says to her, exactly how much time did you put into, do you think I put into posting on social media? Not much. Up late watching snowfall, studying the Battle of the Bulge, cold, surrounded, Allied comeback. What she's doing is Bill Belichick is watching World War II documentaries and cosplaying that he's in the Navy, and she's getting hammered because she's so incredibly bored. And she's gotten herself to the point of disassociation where she is using something that the Admiral said in the documentary and turning it into a tweet about college football.
Turning it into free verse poetry on Twitter.
Exactly. And thinking she's very smart in the process. She's real stupid.
She's philosophical.
Absolutely.
More than traditionally intelligent.
And this is coming from someone who has done things like this, or just gotten drunk and watched a documentary and been like, now maybe it wasn't as earnest and self-centered about what a fighter I am, but she's drunk watching in Bill's. You remember the Osbournes with Ozzy? All he would do is watch World War II documentaries, and he was, by the way, our age at the time when the Osbournes was filmed. Bill Belichick's, he's 74 years old. He's sitting home watching World War II documentaries, pretending that he's in the Navy, which he could have joined. He could have joined the Navy if he liked the Navy so much. He could have enlisted. I mean, that was a good time to enlist in the Navy. He could have gone to Vietnam and fought, but he decided not to. He decided just to cosplay as as someone who is very into the Navy, and he's just sitting there, and I would imagine it's almost a nightly ritual where World War II documentaries come on, and in order to sit through that World War II documentary, you got to have some drinks, because let's face it, this is incredibly boring. And then you get inspired, and you get on the phone, and you start to free verse in, quote, naval admirals.
Yes. Well, the latest news from Jordan, too, is that she is planning a party for the same day as the Hall of Fame enshrinement. So
check and mate.
She is, and she's going to invite a bunch of the people who had planned on attending and being there for Bill.
Is it going to be right up the street from the Football Hall of Fame?
On the day that he was going to go to Bill's induction.
Well,
Tom Brady, Jimmy Johnson, Bill Parcells, and others who are planning on attending are invited.
Wow. And it's also the same night as Susie Berkowitz's bar mitzvah, which is I mean, it's almost cruel.
Well, I hope there isn't a cheer competition on the same day, because then you're triple booked.
I mean, what a slap in the face to the Hall of Fame induction ceremony, which is a must attend for so many people.
But as Florio points out, like if she does this party and Bill's there, what if Robert Kraft gets in? He won't be there for Kraft.
Oh, I don't think he would go there for Kraft. No.
See,
No. He's not going. Kraft gets in and he doesn't. There's no way he's going to stand there and watch that. Not a chance.
Yeah, you think that he's got like that kind of integrity?
No. There's for the same reason that as long as Kraft owns his team, there'll never be a statue of Bill Belichick next to Tom Brady. Not a chance.
That's more likely than it is that Belichick would go to the Hall of Fame induction ceremony. By the way, Florio, if you heard him on Felger and Maz, big fan of Vrabel. Big. I heard about 5 minutes of their interview with Florio, and I was like, "Who is this guy? Boy, does he love Vrabel. He's basically locking the Patriots. Vrabel's a
but
genius.
not big enough to vote him Coach of the Year. Didn't he say that he had he'd gone with the Jacksonville guy?
Liam
that was
Cohen.
just because he related to his way of saying Duval. I'm going to have a party the same night as the induction ceremony in Canton, and I'm going to invite all the big people. We're going to have it at my house, and it's going to be crazy.
I'm going to have a party in the other Canton.
Oh, wouldn't that be something?
Wow.
Get it?
Yeah, I do.
Then wouldn't that Canton, Michigan?
You get of all kinds.
Yeah, I mean, you could have it anywhere. Maybe she could just spread it around every Canton in the country.
That was awesome.
Checkmate, Jordan Hudson. The NFL will be scrambling. No one's at the Hall of Fame induction.
So all the people you mentioned are invited, but they don't know if they're going to
Even,
attend.
John, if all those people didn't show up to the Super Bowl induction ceremony, say Kraft doesn't get in. If Kraft gets in, they're all going.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know Parcells. Brady would go. But the thing, I mean, of course he would go.
Yeah.
But just because he's an owner of the Vegas, he's got to go.
Mm-hmm.
But say Kraft doesn't get in for whatever reason, and who cares if those people aren't there? Who would possibly care if Bill Parcells and Tom Brady weren't at the Hall of Fame induction ceremony?
Ultimately, it doesn't matter. This is what makes it matter to me. The fact that there's a party down the street and where they go. That's
it's just
what
such a
matters.
ridiculous notion. It's just such a nothing. Like whoa, what a disruptor. Again, this is something that only the people really involved care about. It's not like if everyone boycotted the Oscars or something, like everyone that was like, or if you got people that got into the Hall of Fame not to show up, that's a bit of a coup. But who's in the audience at the Hall of Fame? This is a story for people? I mean, it's so dumb. And what it really is egotistical, as if you have the power to disrupt these things. All right, very good. Maybe she should sue Pablo Torre, and which she really got to right away. All right, we'll be back in just a moment. Media night was last night. We were not there, but we've accumulated lots of audio from all the fun that occurred, and we will have that for you in just a moment.
A lot of people are also excited for the commercials.
The Sports Hub. Beasley Media Group station celebrating 65 years of broadcasting. Sports Hub headlines. Presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Patriots and Seattle each went through an hour-long media session last night for opening night to the week run-up to Super Bowl 60. Seahawks quarterback Sam Darnold knows all about his counterpart, Drake May.
I don't think we dislike it. Again, that's not anything that's ever...
This is all the lead up to the big game, which is Sunday night in Santa Clara, California. Celtics and Mavericks meet in Dallas tonight. Everyone except Jason Tatum will be available for the green. Grandy and Max have the pregame at 7:30 and the tip-off at 8. You're on 98.5 The Sports Hub. The Clippers are reportedly in advanced trade discussions with the Cleveland Cavaliers about a trade involving James Harden. The NBA deadline is on Thursday. The Bruins placed Elias Lindholm on injured reserve yesterday and activated defenseman Jordan Harris. The team will visit the Florida Panthers tomorrow night. And in the first round of the Beanpot, BC beat Harvard 5-1. Bruins first-round draft pick James Higgins had 2 goals and an assist. And Bella B's top pick Dean Letourneau added a goal and an assist. BU beat Northeastern in the other semifinal 3-2 in a shootout. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by South Shore Bank. At Beatles Bank, sharing your success and growing your business is what above and beyond banking is all about. Visit SouthShoreBank.com, member FDIC, member DIF, equal housing lender. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 7:30.
High wrist shot.
The Bruins.
Rebound score!
Play here. The Sports Hub.
I know. No, you don't know.
Everyone agrees that I'm the only one who's not wrong.
Right or wrong, they're back. Hardy on the Sports Hub.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. We are Toucher and Hardy, and the Super Bowl is this Sunday. Zolak and Bertrand, Felger and Maz are out there. I know Alex Barth is out there. Very exciting. Lots of people coming on the shows. It starts off a little slow, and then it picks up steam as the week goes on. But yesterday was media day.
Yeah, and we're a little late on this, Fred, but the countdown to kickoff has already begun.
Countdown to kickoff. 132 hours to go. Are you heading to Frisco for the big game? Don't forget your real ID. Or that new ID. I'm not sure what it is, but it can get you on the plane. Oh! And don't forget your Super Bowl ticket. Hope you've been saving your nickels, because those things ain't cheap.
That's good advice.
It is.
I wish there was a way just to knock me out and wake me up for the Super Bowl.
You heading to Frisco?
Nope. I am not. If you're going to San Francisco, that's awesome. But see, with us, we go to San Francisco on a Sunday or Monday, and then we come back on Friday.
Yeah, it's not
That's
great.
2 days before the Super Bowl.
It's not great.
Yeah, so lest you think,
Did you ever stay for one?
I never had a press pass or tickets. No, I didn't ever stay for a Super. Why would I mean? What to say that I was in the same city where the game was being played? Did they let you into a Super Bowl?
I went the time I went on the Drive for Five.
Houston.
In Houston. So I was at that one.
Okay, so they acquiesced and allowed you to go to that.
I'm not saying who gave me tickets. Somebody gave me tickets for that one.
That was nice.
And I ended up getting tickets for the one in Minneapolis.
I can tell you this.
I got a ticket, and I sat with Jim Murray, who left in the middle of the fourth quarter. He said, "I'm not sticking around for this," and he left.
Which one was that?
Against the Eagles.
Why did he want to leave?
Because he thought they were going to lose.
That game was really good. That was like one of the best Super Bowls I've ever seen. I understand that he didn't like the outcome, but
Brady threw for about 1,000,000 yards in that game. They racing up and down the field.
There's
like over 1,100 yards passing in that game.
I'll check with Jim. He probably remembers. I want to say there's about 4 minutes left in the game, and he left.
Just by himself, walked out.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Took a walk through, what do you call it, the Skyway or whatever it is, to get over to the after party. You know, it was like a 1.5 mile walk in the elevated, walkway. From the stadium over to the after party.
And it's funny because those after parties, I've heard, are tons of fun.
It was it was fun seeing Malcolm Butler over there crying in a corner, not understanding why I didn't play, and then like in the middle of all this like drama and like people are just, I can't believe that happened. Like, all right, everybody, come into this room. J-Lo is playing. Like, all right, you go over here and watch J-Lo.
Yeah. And let's put it this way: even if like a team I loved was in the Super Bowl, it's not like I would want to be there today. Like I wouldn't have changed my plans based on the people that were in the Super Bowl.
Oh, see that absolutely changes.
But
if the Jets were playing in the Super Bowl, you wouldn't go?
I might go to the Super Bowl on my own dime. I wouldn't want to be broadcasting from there today. That wouldn't have changed my modus operandi.
Okay. But again, the countdown for kickoff means all that much more.
I understand, but I can tell you that I think it's clear that there's no misunderstanding about this. John and I don't get to go to the Super Bowl ever. Like, so we are now Radio Row for radio is good conceivably if it's on East Coast time because people are aware morning shows are there and will show up to get a large audience of a morning show. It is of zero benefit to us. It's actually quite honestly not good for the show and the audience.
I wonder if next year will be different in LA. Like in the middle of the night in LA, if people would come out.
No, because they're not going to come out in LA in the middle of the night. They're not going to.
It's the city that never sleeps.
If
the
they're
city
out,
of angels, Fred.
First of all, it's a city that shuts down very, very quickly in terms of clubs and stuff that are legal. It's not New York. And no, I don't think people are just going to be strolling in with press passes at 3 a.m, led around by press agents. No, the West Coast negates all of it. Central time zone, yes, because then let's say then you're just on at 5, so probably about 7 o'clock that time, 7:30, and you get an hour and a half, I guess. You could make the argument that that's worth it, and maybe the sound of being there is worth it, the visual of being there is worth it. East Coast for sure, because then people are coming in, because then you got like New York stations there and stuff.
Atlanta's in 2 years. Next year, LA, Atlanta in 2 years.
If the Patriots are in the Super Bowl in Atlanta, I would like to go to Atlanta anyway and broadcast from the Super Bowl. You know me, because all my friends are there.
I can't believe you don't want to go to La La Land, you know?
I enjoy Los Angeles, but it's just not good for the show. I'm not being selfish even. It's selfishly I don't want to go, but also it's not. It would not be good. Trust me. I've done it. It's not good. The shows were not good from Phoenix. The shows were great from Atlanta. The shows were not good in Phoenix. The shows were really good in Indianapolis. The shows were not good in Phoenix. The shows in Houston were fine, and the shows in Minnesota were fine. But they were bad in Phoenix. It was not a conducive place to be creative. Look at the poor woman from Fox 25. Again, that place doesn't have anyone in it. They will co-sign. It is empty. It's ludicrous that she has to stand there. In fact, I might DM her.
But that's San Francisco.
And just go
that's even an hour later than L.A., I think. I mean, it's way out there in the Pacific. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? You're in that chair, so you're probably right. About time zones. Man.
All right.
It's based on how far north you are.
Well, I'll tell you who is excited to be there, and that's Drake May. And last night at Media Night, man, he was all about it. It's full circle for him.
Full circle moment. I think that's the biggest thing. You know, what a moment. Just so thankful for my dad who was able to take me to a Super Bowl. That's, don't take it for granted. Not every kid gets to experience that. I was watching my favorite team at the time and got a chance to watch Peyton Manning's last game. What a cool experience that was. And now to be here and playing one myself, I don't take it for granted and know how special this is and just trying to enjoy it. Enjoy it with my teammates, enjoy it with everybody who helped get me here, and from there go try to win it.
He's got like the best parents. His parents must have been just like the greatest. He's just like a nice boy.
Mm-hmm.
Where was that Super Bowl? Denver, Carolina, right?
Jesus Christ. How would we know?
Trying to remember.
I know. All right, so what about...
Was that the New York one?
I think was that Denver, Carolina?
Denver was in one of the New York ones.
No, Seattle beat Denver in New York, I want to say.
Okay. One, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Wait, what? What did you say, Adam? Okay.
Super Bowl 50. Was that in New York?
Do you know or not? It doesn't matter. Okay, go
Let's
ahead.
fumble around in the dark
I know,
for a little
Jesus
while
Christ.
longer.
If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. Go ahead.
How's the arm? That's all we really care about, Drake. We saw you carrying the bag with your right hand. How's the arm?
Yeah, I threw a good bit. I threw as much as I would in normal practice, and felt great. And looking forward to getting back out there in the Wednesday and Thursday for practice again, and Friday, and get ready to get a normal week of prep.
That's right. They got a bonus practice in yesterday.
I'll tell you what. If he wasn't throwing as much as he normally does the Monday before the Super Bowl, then he shouldn't be playing. So I would hope that he's throwing as much as he usually does, because I don't know if your arm. Because I don't imagine he's throwing a ton on Mondays, just generally during the season. This is all out of my ass, and I'm equating it to baseball, so excuse me if I'm incorrect. But it seems like you would kind of just be like taking it kind of easy on a Monday in terms of your throwing, and if you couldn't do that, you're in big trouble.
It all makes sense now. Peyton Manning's last game was Broncos beat the Panthers, Levi's Stadium, Santa Clara.
Yeah, Seattle and Denver. That was the New York game. That was Seattle blew out Denver in the New York game.
Okay.
So he's back in the place where he saw
there you go.
his favorite quarterback. Same stadium. This magic.
Let me get up my gambling app and let me get up my FanDuel and see what's doing.
A lot of people are also excited for the commercials.
All right. Let's see if some of these other reporters, some of these credentialed media have some good questions to ask of Drake May and Mike Vrabel and everyone else. Let's start here.
Planning to win this Sunday?
Are we planning to win? What else will we be planning to do?
Never know.
Yes. That's the goal of us coming out here. We're coming out here to win the game, and that's the number one priority. And looking forward to getting a chance to have a great week of practice and give them a chance to play in the Super Bowl. How about that?
It's a good question. Are you playing to win the game?
Maybe.
What else would I do? I don't know.
It sounds like a nice, like, grandmotherly woman. Maybe that was.
Planning to win this Sunday?
Are we planning to win? What else will we be playing?
Yeah. Like I think maybe the skit is like it was someone's. Look, man, everyone's trying to get some kind of angle to go viral. I guess the notion is that you will go viral. I don't know the amount of money involved in going viral, or what that does for your career. But like one video going viral, I don't know if that's like like wow, put this away and I'll retire on this.
What else will you be planning to do?
Because it sounds like how you would sound like to it, like an old guy that or an old lady that comes up to you like, yes, I am enjoying the dog. Is your dog friendly? Yeah, my dog is friendly. Would your dog like to play? Yeah.
What else?
I'm guessing that was a bit by someone to get they had like their grandma go out there and like be super nice. I don't know.
Do you want to hear a bit? You want to hear an actual bit?
Yeah.
I think this is Guillermo.
Want to tell Matt Damon that he sucks?
No, I would imagine.
Yeah, that's
This is to Mike Vrabel, who is not suffering through this foolishness.
Want to tell Matt Damon that he sucks?
No, why would I tell Matt Damon that?
He sucks.
Matt Damon?
Yeah, he sucks. He's terrible.
What does Matt Damon do?
Sucks.
What does he do?
Actor. What did he do? Nothing, right?
You know he's an actor?
Well, he sucks, right?
Yeah.
So, if that's what Jimmy Kimmel's up to,
precisely,
then Kimmel's smart and good. I mean, he's he's a nice guy.
I'm thinking that the interview's not going to make it to air tonight.
Well, obviously they were just. I guess he was probably hoping that the Patriots would like recognize the guy, and then they would crap on Damon, and they could montage it up to and Damon would come on the show, and then they would show, look at the Patriots, think you suck, but. That didn't work with Vrabel.
No, if Vrabel really wasn't playing along with any of these people.
Is this a must-win game?
Yeah, that's again another thing.
That's funny. Yeah. Okay.
Is this a must-win game?
A must-win? Yeah, I think every time we go out is a must-win game. I mean, It's kind of the attitude that I've always taken in the National Football League.
I'll tell you what, man. If I flew out to San Francisco and I had to worry about like preparing a team for a Super Bowl and I had to sit at that thing, I'd be in a foul mood too. I really would be. And I give everyone a lot of leash with that. Like that you're sitting at a podium on an arena floor, I guess, here. And there's the 6,000 Ben Maller, Hardy was saying Ben Maller said there was 6,000 credentialed reporters. I don't know if they were all at media day, but say there's 3,000 or 2,000 or 1,000. And you're sitting there and everyone now is trying to like kind of like go viral. And just the notion that someone's trying to go viral would annoy the hell out of me. And it's almost just, it's like an obligation with no positives for me. It's not helping. The whole Super Bowl media day is really kind of dumb. I think it maybe run its course because now it's just, it's really just people trying to screw with the guys. It used to be kind of fun to kind of screw with them because there was not that many people around. I'm talking like, like 17, 16, 15 years ago, you had a lot of room and like you could do stuff that was kind of fun. And now maybe there was a chick with like big boobs that would try to distract them and like say something and then whatever.
They got Morgan the Kissing Bandit out there. That's a good time.
Oh, would I get an autograph from her? And I would just be like, let me touch those lips that touch Pete Rose. Pete Rose banged her after the game too. But
Yeah.
she was a married woman though. That is true. But but now it's just that's all it is. That would test my patience.
Yeah, I remember years ago Dante Scarnecchia sat down with us, and I foolishly, like an idiot, asked him a very simple, open-ended question. I'm like, Dante, you're back here at the Super Bowl. You're here doing and it was media night. I'm like, is this still exciting for you? And he's, no, I hate it. I hate being here. I hate this. I want to be back in my hotel room doing nothing. I just want to play the game. I can't. I hate all of this.
Yeah. So like after a game, the media helps. Like the media after a game, people. It's good for the league. It's good for everyone that you describe what happened in the game and you answer questions about the game because it's something that people are interested in. You need media attention. They do. I mean, the NFL knows it. That's why they have post-game press conferences that are mandatory. When you skip out on them, which coaches can't, there's a reason they have to do them. The league wants them to do them. There's a reason for it. And they're valuable. And I think knowing that you have to go to that you should at least be professional during those because people have a job to do. This would annoy me. Like, because it's not it's like people with no talent. And I would just be like, ugh. I'm not biting on your thing. I'm not biting on your thing.
This is pretty good though. I mean, a rapid fire this or that with Hunter Henry.
In and out or Shake Shack? Probably in and out.
Skiing or surfing?
Skiing.
Tupac or Biggie?
Probably Biggie.
Seafood or Mexican?
Mexican.
Lastly, pizza or tacos?
Ooh, that is tough. I'm a big pizza guy, but I love tacos. Probably pizza. Yeah, buddy.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Dan, go. Jesus Christ. How did it even get written? Dan.
That was written too.
Oof. That hurts. That one sucked. Dan, go ahead.
Anybody do my favorite bit this year when you go and you make up the Silly Goose morning show name? Anybody? No one?
You go viral and you see the advantage of going viral in that situation. You end up rolling in it.
What a dork.
Thanks, 12.
Again, I don't really see the value in that. You've gone viral, and now what?
It's interesting. You were saying the NFL, maybe this thing has run its course. By all accounts, there were no fans at the thing last night. Usually they have it where there are fans everywhere, and the NFL closed it off. They held it in some convention center. Usually it's in a building like, for instance, where the San Jose Sharks play. Usually they'll have it somewhere like that. They didn't have that last night. And this is a shift for the NFL. The NFL usually sells tickets to this thing. So maybe this signals a change.
Okay, we got this email from David. He shouldn't play in 6 days if he didn't throw Monday. I said, May, if he can't throw a ball on Monday, if he can't loosen his arm up. Did you say Drake May shouldn't play if he didn't throw the same amount they usually would 6 days before the game? You can't equate it to baseball because baseball they play every day or two. They don't have 6 days in between games. John, I won't even answer the question. If I'm a starting pitcher in baseball, so I will equate it to baseball because pitchers don't pitch every 2 days, not even relievers. If I'm a starting pitcher and I pitch every 5th day, how many days a week do you think I don't throw?
2, 3 days in between starts?
1 is the answer. 1. There might be 1 day I don't throw at all. I'm not talking about doing a bullpen. I'm talking about throwing a baseball.
Oh, long toss.
1.
He changed his answer.
No, I'd forgotten about, bullpens,
baseball
and things
activities.
Like that. Yes.
So my point is, if you have today off and you have an inability to throw a football on a Monday, your arm is not going to repair itself enough by Sunday. In any sport, if you can't throw 5 days before, cannot throw. Oh my God. If you are playing any sport that involves throwing, regardless of what it is, you make up one, and you cannot make an overhand throw.
Ultimate.
6 days before you are going to have to throw a ball 30 times. There is no way that you are going to be able to play in that game. It's a ridiculous notion. Like Nolan Ryan couldn't throw on Monday, and then he was out on Sunday. And what the hell are you talking about? If he physically can't throw, he couldn't even loosen his arm up. That's ridiculous. He's had a week off already. So he needs 2 more days, and then he can start throwing. You wouldn't be very concerned if Drake May said, I didn't throw as much as I normally did on a Monday. That wouldn't have concerned you?
Yeah, it would have raised questions, sure.
Driven me crazy.
He said it felt better after the flight. Something on the flight made him feel better.
I hope he does feel better.
That usually happens.
He's playing in the game.
That usually happens. But it always feels better after flight.
That's what he said.
There's no swelling at all. No.
Felt better.
The depressurization, I'm sure that's real good for things that are injured.
All right. We will be back in just a moment.
Stay tuned for more Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
All right. We are Dutcher and Hardy. Fluto Shinzawa is a senior NHL writer for The Athletic, covering the Boston Bruins. They play tonight, correct? They play Florida tonight?
Tomorrow night.
Oh, tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night.
That's the last game before
the break, yes.
The big 3-week break. Fluto Shinzawa was in Tampa. He saw the team lose the 5-1 lead. Fluto, thank you as always for joining us.
Good morning, Fred.
Thank you. Undisciplined. What's going on? How are they this undisciplined?
Shockingly undisciplined.
Wildly undisciplined.
All year long, right? You could say, okay, they got a little excited. They're outdoors. There's a goalie fight. There's this and that. But you look, every single segment of the season, this is just who they are in terms of taking penalties. And I'm sure, and Marco Sturman said, they've addressed this multiple times. The players have addressed it multiple times. Like, you look at Pastrnak, he's upset when his players, his teammates are taking penalties, and he's on the bench because he doesn't kill. So that takes him out of the rotation in terms of scoring and doing everything. But then, hey, who is it in overtime that's taking the penalty? It's David. So this is, I think there is concern among the team that, okay, they're on a very good pace. Let's say they make the playoffs. What happens if this pattern isn't adjusted? This could really burn them at some point, and it already has. So I don't know. Maybe this is something that they learn from, but they've had to learn from for a lot of games. So we'll see. But they are who they are in terms of leading the league in minor penalties and time short-handed for a reason.
Is it just a matter of over aggressiveness? Is it a lack of knowing your responsibilities? I'm trying to just think of reasons.
Zadorov had that tag when he got here, and he leads the league in penalty minutes, but it's an overall thing now.
Yeah, it just, like, there were some penalties in that Tampa game, like, a guy scores a goal and you just run him into the boards. I mean, it's really unnecessary. It's just and I know this has been a year-long problem. Is it just they get agitated? Like, what's the reasoning behind all these penalties in your opinion?
Yeah, that might be it. That they do have some players in terms of profile who, they get a little hot. Kastelik, as you know, I think he does a good job of keeping things in check in terms of his hot how hot he runs. But yeah, Kastelik, we saw Charlie. And then Corrali puts the hand on the puck. It's just the one thing that I've thought about, guys, is that who takes penalties? It's usually teams that are chasing the puck. So maybe that's one of their issues, is that they are not in possession of the puck enough. So like if you have the puck, it's hard to cross check a guy, for example. So maybe that's something that they can address in terms of trying to control the puck a little bit more, and thus not put themselves in this position. Like, and you hear players and coaches talk about all the time. There are penalties that they'll kill all day long. Like, somebody goes after one of their players and then you retaliate, and for whatever reason you get put in the box more than fine. You'll live with that. But there's some of these other penalties, you just they accumulate and they stack, and that's a problem.
I know the crowd loves the goalie fight, Fluto, but was there anything about it that irritated you? Like, I'm getting the sense that Swayman specifically really wanted to fight somebody, and he finally got to fight somebody. And even though it was this monster Russian who happens to be left-handed, whoops, he goes out there and does it anyway. Did that bother you?
No, I don't. I think that's just part of who he is, right? And yeah. Like you said, Artie, how often have we seen it? Like, you can go down the list. Kemper, Woll, he's been wanting to do this for a long time. Maybe it's out of his system. Who knows? But and how many other times do we see somebody in front of him and he's going to slash him and cross check him in the head and do all this stuff? That's just part of who he is and what the way he plays the game. And I think that it is good for him in a way, in terms of playing at a high degree. I think that's part of what makes him good. So is it out of his system? Maybe this doesn't happen anymore. I liked it. I thought it was theater.
It was theater. That's right.
I'm
Yeah,
sure
big time.
the situation played into it, like, and both guys, right? Because you have to accept. And Vasilevsky was the one that came out to the red line. So both guys wanted it. They wanted to play it up to the show, and it was entertaining.
Yeah, the smiles after, I think, told the story that they both got a kick out of the whole affair. But I enjoyed it, too. It's
fun.
Yeah, you get a goalie fight in an outdoor game. I'll take it every day. That's all right with me.
Ultimately, though, Fluto, now that we're here and we're right up against the Olympic break, I'm trying to figure out what this team is. They do have firm control of a playoff spot, but they're also fundamentally flawed. Is there room for improvement, or is this just what they are going to be the rest of the way?
Maybe it's both. Yes, they have some breathing room in terms of being above the cut line as far as the wild card team. And they have these fundamentals in place that I think that can carry them through this last segment in terms of the goaltending, the power play. Like those are your two things that have really carried the day. That they've goalied their way and they've power played their way to some degree, and they have the big guys that are playing well. Charlie, David, Igiki is back, and the goalie. Jeremy. So I think they're in good shape that way. But how do you approach the deadline? Maybe it's one hand in, one hand out in terms of you have some UFA guys coming up, Andrew Pete, Victor Arvidsson being two. Do they really fit in your long-term plans? I don't know. And can you get something for them in terms of assets from a contending team? Yes. And then on the other hand, can you still add to your future? Yes, but it has to be for today and tomorrow. Like you're not going to go out and get a UFA guy just because it's just, let's face it, that's not who they are in this cycle in terms of being a A1 contender like Tampa, Colorado, Carolina. So maybe they do both.
Bruins had a couple of kids playing last night in the Bean Pot that played well. Did that say anything to you about their futures?
Yeah, Hagen's, I saw a little bit of it. I saw him in person against UNH a week and a half ago. He's playing on the wing, which is different. He's always been a center. But you can see just in terms of raw skill, like there's NHL skill in terms of skating, deception, hands, really good hands, vision. I think he's only 19. There's going to be issues in terms of strength, competitiveness in tight areas, being responsible. So who knows where in NHL his long-term position is, whether it's left wing or center, but there's assets and strengths there in James's game that you think, whoa, and it's really no exaggeration to say the way he carries the puck through center ice, he looks like McDavid. Letourneau, that's interesting just because he's so big. And nice hands. The skating has improved. It might take a little bit longer for that guy to make it, just because there's going to be issues with pace. There's going to be guys coming at him just because he's so big to challenge him. But yeah, very, very interesting players. Those two, I think, really stand out among that bunch. But yeah, Hagen's, that's the one you're thinking, whoa, there's something to work with here.
I'm just very briefly, I want to go back to something Fluto said. I liked your explanation about the disciplined or undisciplined nature of the team. And, maybe it's because they're chasing so much and they don't have possession of the puck. Is there an answer? Do they need better control through the neutral zone? Do they need a better breakout? Is there something that you can identify that will help to keep them out of those situations where they feel the need to take penalties to get themselves back into certain situations?
I think just better players, right? Like what you always look at to say, look at the teams that are doing well. What really separates them? They have more good players. So, and that's part of their cycle because of how many players that they said goodbye to last year, and because of where their farm system was. Like there's just some catching up to do. So at some point, in terms of optimizing your roster, you want more good players, and those are the ones that are controlling the puck.
All right, Fluto Shinzawa, what are the plans for the Olympics? Are you covering the Olympics? Do you get 3 weeks off? What's the deal?
We'll be watching. There'll be some stuff, as always, college stuff, American League stuff, banking some stories from here down in Florida. So we'll try and keep busy.
All right. So Fluto Shinzawa, read him in The Athletic. He's the best. So thank you, Fluto.
Okay, guys. My pleasure. Thanks.
All right. Appreciate it. The great Fluto Shinzawa. I wonder how this 3 weeks off is going to affect things.
Well, Bruins got some people they need to heal up. I mean, they played Tampa without Zaka and without Elias Lindholm. So
yeah, but what if Lindholm goes ahead and plays in the Olympics?
I was thinking about that. He was in street clothes, not for the Tampa game, but before that, and we saw him out there. I mean, if he can't play for the NHL team and then goes and plays for the Swedish team and say he gets dinged up again, then we have a problem. Then I personally would have a problem with that.
It's funny because obviously these guys care more about the national competitions than they do about the NHL.
Oh, yeah.
And that's just part of the culture, and there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, that's just the way it is, and I think the league has accepted that. But
he's your top-line center, and against all odds, you have control of a playoff spot here. You're playing far better than a lot of people thought you would. I would say Lindholm's dinged up, goes and plays anyway, and hurts himself worse, and he's lost to you for
McAvoy
months.
got hurt in the Four Nations.
I know.
Mean, that's just, it would be frustrating to me if I'm paying these guys. But there's nothing you can do about it. They care more about the international competitions. It's just the hockey culture. They care more about the international competitions. What are you going to do? All right, we'll be back in just a moment. Here are the headlines.
Essential Sports. Sports Hub.
Countdown to kickoff. 131 hours to go. What's up, party people? Hell yeah, Super Bowl parties are so lit. Are you hosting? Try doing a Super Bowl party / key party. That way, whether your team wins or loses, you'll still be scoring big time.
Everyone's face.
We were looking at homes like years ago. We were in a certain town where they had this big new community built, and all the houses were nice, the varying degrees, and but you could tell like younger families were moving in, and it was our real estate agent who said, I understand this is what you guys are looking for, and she was younger than us, and she looked around and she goes, something tells me within about 5 years everyone's going to be effing each other on these streets. And I said, really? She goes, yeah, I've seen it before. I like you guys. I don't want you here. Let's go somewhere else.
No,
I told
the people
you
she didn't like.
I told you across town. I think I've told you this before, Fred. We walked in, looked at a house, and the living room was sunken.
Oh yeah, the pit.
The pit was there, but
Party
I
pit.
didn't know. I didn't know what it was at the time. So the real estate agent's like, well, if you're into that kind of thing, here's the sunken living room. I had no idea what he was talking about, and I had to have it explained to me. He said, all the houses in this neighborhood have been built the same way.
You can tell that Johnny was looking at some prime real estate.
That's right.
It was the early '70s build
Split levels.
where they had put that in.
Yep.
Was there an indoor whirlpool as well?
No, I didn't see one of those.
Okay.
Just a pit. No.
Faux wood paneling.
Maybe.
Lots of cabinetry in the kitchen. All right. Here is a thing that is, if you want a tiny little thing about the Super Bowl, this is interesting. Sam Darnold, who everyone now is convinced is going to crap himself, and he very well might. But Sam Darnold has performed better against the blitz than he has against four-man rushes. However, when Darnold is kept clean, he plays like one of the NFL's best quarterbacks, ranking third in EPA per pass play. But on snaps where he's pressured, Darnold drops all the way down to 28th EPA per pass play between Tua and Mac Jones. So isn't it interesting that he performs well against the blitz but performs poorly when pressured? That seems almost like an oxymoron.
Yeah, that's weird.
So it is interesting. We'll have Andrew Callahan on. We can talk about how this will be handled by the Patriots defensively, in his opinion.
What Mike Reese was saying to us yesterday, that if he's clean, he'll pick you apart, but against the blitz, whatever off-platform, whatever cliche you want to say, he has a lot of trouble. And so I'm not sure that fits into that narrative either. It's weird. The whole thing is strange.
I wonder if they're just astute at picking up the blitz and scheming out of it and having checkdowns, if he's effective at doing that, or if I don't really understand how it seems like you would get more pressure on a blitz.
Yeah.
But there you go. And I guess the reason, and they kill man coverage because of JSN. Apparently you can't guard him man to man. So it'd be interesting to see if they give that a shot with Gonzalez.
Gonzalez Island. There it is.
They move him all over the field. They move him into the slot. They put him on both sides. So, like, I don't know if that's the way you want to play him. If he is that successful against man coverage, do you think that Gonzalez can effectively shut him down for an entire game?
The way Belichick used to do it would be he would put, say, Darrelle Revis on the second best receiver, have the number 2 cornerback against their best receiver, and double over the top. That's the way that Belichick used to play it when he had number 1 receivers he had to cover.
Yeah, but also I would make the argument that Revis maybe is a top 3 corner, top 2 corner of all time.
I was just making an example. Belichick would do that regardless.
No, I understand what you're saying. It's just that the game. Just when you mentioned Darrelle Revis, it just seems like the game planning. Like you have, so and he tried with the Patriots. So for that season. So you had that. You had a guy with an ability. I mean, the reason the Jets. He's a huge reason the Jets made the AFC Championship game 2 years in a row is because Rex Ryan could do whatever he wanted defensively, because Revis could literally just take a guy and remove him from a game. So,
But
he's their most valuable player.
Yeah, that's just. It's hard for me to wrap my head around that one. And obviously, Belichick, especially when it came to defense, had a pretty good idea of what he was doing.
What did he do that with Ty Law?
I would think it would be the opposite. I'm like, no, if they've got a legit number one receiver, okay, put your corner there and double the other guy.
Well, the idea was that way you take both receivers theoretically away. The top cornerback can shut down the number 2 guy, and if you double the number 1 guy, that will decrease his effectiveness as well.
Yeah, but you're more likely to have your best corner shut down an inferior receiver an entire game than you are having him on the best one, and your 2 guys are more effective against the best one than one. I mean, I understand what the point is, but he did that even with Ty Law.
As I remember it, yes.
Okay.
Now we're going back 20 years.
Yeah,
well, John, I expect you to remember that.
Yes.
All right, Andrew Callahan. He's joining the woman from Fox 25 at the. They might be the 2 people there, but it's now getting on to 5 o'clock West Coast time, so perhaps people are starting to show up. We will talk to Andrew Callahan in just a moment.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
It may be last call for football, but FanDuel is giving you a daily profit boost every single day leading up to the big game. Today's 30%.
excited to be here and with this football team.
Drake May told the media his shoulder was fine during his media session, but the big story at this hour, ESPN is reporting that, like Bill Belichick, Robert Kraft was not elected to the Pro Football Hall of Fame this year. Celtics visit Dallas tonight. Grandy and Max have the pregame at 7:30 and the tip-off at 8 here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. The LA Clippers are reportedly in advanced trade discussions with Cleveland about a deal involving James Harden. The NBA trade deadline is Thursday. The Bruins have placed Elias Lindholm on injured reserve and activated defenseman Jordan Harris. The team will visit the Florida Panthers tomorrow night. The New England Revolution have signed midfielder and team captain Carlos Heel to a contract extension through 2028. And in the first round of the Beanpot, BC beat Harvard 5-1. BU beat Northeastern 3-2 in a shootout. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by the $14.99 Big Deal Meals at the 99, like the juicy chopped sirloin. All Big Deal meals are now available all day, every day for just $14.99. You gotta love the nines. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 8:30.
Touchdown! Patriots takes the snap. May has into the end zone. Listen to the MVP chant.
If it's the Patriots, it's the Sports Hub. When it comes to the show, Hardy thinks the same way you do.
Nothing happened.
He's got the same questions.
Where is the story?
And the same opinions.
Boring.
And he's back with Fred on the Sports Hub.
Is this a must-win game?
A must-win? Yeah, I think every time we go out is a must-win game. I mean, it's kind of the attitude that I've always taken in the National Football League.
All right. Well, there's some breaking news during the morning show. I apologize, Adam. It's going to take me a while to get used to these mics and where to put the levels.
It's all good. Don't worry about it.
Well, I like to admit when I make mistakes so I can come down harder on you.
That has integrity, and I appreciate your integrity.
Well, I thank you, and I use that as so I can come down real hard on other people.
Yes.
You know,
like Nicholas.
Nicholas keeps up with these countdowns, so he's okay. He did a sensational voiceover
Good
job.
reads.
All right, so there is breaking news. We are Toucher and Hardy. You can watch us on YouTube and subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub. Andrew Callahan has been shown to me as taking Twitter pictures of bustling media center there in San Francisco.
50 yards in any direction. There's nobody there.
Andrew, how many people would you venture to guess are in the media center in San Francisco right now?
I don't have to guess. I'll give you, Fred. We got 1, 2, 3 right behind me. That's a sports morning show, the ticket, because, of course, it's the ticket. And then we got 4 or 5 in the distance. So I'd say, a couple more walking around. We got at least a dozen souls here.
Okay, so at 5 o'clock local time, there was a dozen because Fox 25 showed the ticket's Dallas, so they're Central Time.
Yes.
So Fox 25 had. I feel so bad for this woman. If it didn't seem creepy, I'd even DM her and be like, "I'm so sorry that you had to go there." But she was there, like 3 o'clock local time, and there was literally no one there. Literally no one there at that time. So Andrew. It's good to know that we were missing out on all the action. We could be sitting in that room right now for no reason, without our equipment, and and just to make things more difficult for no reason. All right, the breaking news is that Robert Kraft did not get into the Hall of Fame. All right, so that's Belichick and Kraft did not get into the Hall of Fame. Belichick is going to get in, but now Kraft might not. But this is kind of big news. So Andrew, okay, so when Kraft is getting voted in on the Hall of Fame, when he's on the ballot, who is he up against? Not specifically, but is he up against players or is he just up against coaches? Like, who's he up against?
It's all the same people that Belichick was up against. It's the same category, believe it or not.
Okay, then he should never make the Hall of Fame, but go ahead.
Well, you have owners, you have Belichick, Tom Coughlin, Mike Shanahan. You have older players who haven't gotten in that the voters, which include a couple of former older players in that voting body, like Ken Anderson, want to reconsider. So it's this strange coach/contributor category that they shoehorn everybody in that they want to give a second chance or kind of expand to. But that's the only place where coaches go in. It's the only place where owners go in. And strangely, they pit them against each other.
Okay, if I'm a voter, this is no BS. I don't care. If I'm a voter, I don't care who the owner is. L.C. Greenwood's getting in. Like, L.C. Greenwood, regardless of what you think of his career, Ken Anderson's a stretch, but even though the one Super Bowl I was at, Ken Anderson was the quarterback. I have no recollection of it, but I was there apparently. What a wasted ticket my dad had on me, but I was very excited to go. And how out of character for my father to take me to something. But nonetheless, why should Kraft get in over a player? Any player. I know that Jerry Jones is in the Hall of Fame, but that seems almost like he bought his way in. I would never vote for an owner, ever, if I was a voter.
Yeah, look, I think it's categorically strange that owners do get voted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, where you have players and coaches predominantly who played or coached the actual game of football in there. But the precedent has been set, and when you include not just Jerry Jones, but guys like Eddie DeBartolo Jr., who presided over the 49ers dynasty in the 80s, is their owner, who spent a lot of money. The guy who's won the most Super Bowls in this group, or has the most rings and provided over the most Super Bowl trips, should be in there, especially more than Jerry Jones. Whether it's this year or next or later, Kraft deserves to be in based on the precedent that they've set.
No, and I understand that. I wouldn't have voted for Jerry Jones or Eddie DeBartolo Jr. either. I just think with Belichick, there needed to be some kind of reasoning. Like, Belichick should be in the Hall of Fame. He should have made the Hall of Fame the first time. It's entertaining that he didn't, but he really should have.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even think that the voters need to justify not putting Kraft in. Do you understand the difference? What I'm saying is that, I think Belichick not getting in, there required some explanation. With Kraft, I don't believe that's the case.
Well, if they're the same people that voted in Jerry Jones or years ago voted for Eddie DeBartolo Jr., because when you look at that voting list, by the way, you're going to see media names that were familiar in the late 80s, mid-90s that have since changed outlets and still have those votes. So I don't know if they're actively covering the league, but I would presume they're the same people that have voted for multiple owners. So at that point, if their logic is to some degree, owners deserve to get into the Hall of Fame, and you can include some of the business deals that Robert Kraft assisted or guided in the CBA negotiations, which, to be clear, I'm not making the case for owners to get in. I'm saying if you're going to put owners in, he deserves to be at the front of the line. They have some answering to do, because this is ridiculous that the guy with the most Super Bowl rings as a coach and the guy with the most Super Bowl rings as an owner has to wait yet another year to be in the Hall of Fame, waiting on the likes of a Ken Anderson or whomever they want to put in this year, which we don't know in this weird coach-contributor category.
The other part of it is Kraft has been eligible to get in for how many years now? 10, 15? I mean, at this point, it seems like they're never going to put him in. I mean, there's no separate reason this year not to put him in that wasn't around last year. It's just the whole thing is bizarre.
Andrew, it is one more year removed, presumably, from the big push that the Patriots were making to get him in. And I think they did pull back on that, sending out the books, putting out the Apple docu-series, which was apparently distasteful to voters. So they reined that in a little bit. So it's 1 year removed from that. But everything else that John just said, he's right. There's nothing really has changed.
No, that's the dynamic that I think people need to remember. Like, the longer we get into this particular group and they're left on the outside waiting in, the dynamic is, what do some of these, frankly, cranky old voters think and the grudges that they want to hold? And I don't think it's an accident, guys, that going back to Belichick for a second, the markets that first came up in terms of where these people live and work that did not vote Belichick in, Indianapolis, Kansas City, and this is very, like tribal of me. Okay, who are you from? Who do you root for? And that's all that matters. But we can't look at this process and think that they're doing this based on merit, because the numbers are the numbers. The championships are the championships, and the rankings in terms of wins and all of that are what they are. And by those numbers, these people should be in. Belichick and Kraft, and whatever you think of the politicking, this and that, does not affect what happened under their guidance on the field, and that's what this is supposed to be about. I tweeted this last week. With Belichick, this is not the media kindness museum. It's the Pro Football Hall of Fame. You should put in guys who are Hall of Famers, and that is Belichick and that is Kraft.
Well, yeah, Belichick. But again, the excuses for not getting, I don't think there needs to be a lot of excuses. And maybe it's a correcting of the mistake of putting Jones and DeBartolo in, and that they realized they made a mistake doing that. Anyway, regardless of the reason, I don't think that they have to bend over backwards to justify the absence of Kraft. I mean, obviously Belichick is ridiculous. if you're going to put any coach in, Belichick should be in. As much as I find the man very distasteful, I do realize that he should be in the Hall of Fame. But how much of this is cheating?
Yeah, I think you have to ask them. I mean, it's up to each individual owner. There might be some people that see this as a penalty for Belichick, because, oh, you're not a first ballot, but I'll vote you in the second time. Others have this clinging to these old players who feel bad because the old players, and this was the case in the Kansas City voter, who said, I really like these older players who didn't get in. Now I feel bad for the L.C. Greenwoods and the Ken Andersons. And other people might be like you, Fred, and I have some kind of mind where it's like, owners don't deserve to be in. But when Dan Rooney and Ralph Wilson and Pat Bowlen of the Broncos, the late Pat Bowlen, are in, to me, it's just hard to, whether you want to put it as, tell the story.
But Rooney
of the NFL
is
without it.
okay. Rooney though is different. Rooney was like there.
Sure, they talked to me about Ralph Wilson or Pat Bowlen. Or
No,
Jerry
no,
Jones.
I know. I just am making the point that Rooney's different. I get it. I'm with you. The precedent of owners, Kraft is definitely in that echelon, if not above. DeBartolo and Jones, who knows what he did to get in or what he knows about people to get in. But Rooney's like a founder of the league. Doesn't that seem a little bit different? I don't think that's crazy. That, like, if you're getting the guys that, didn't he win the team in a card game or something? He was there at the very beginnings of the league. I guess you could put him in as like a founder.
I just like ping-ponging this argument where you have to defend the owners getting in, and then it's my turn, and now I'm trying to put it back on you. So if you want to put and defend Dan Rooney, by all means, I think we end with the ball in your court.
Well, no, I don't think owners should get in, but Rooney would be an exception because he's a founder of the league, essentially. That's all.
I understand. You want owners in the league, Fred. I hear it.
Right. Well, you win the debate.
You win the big sports debate,
yeah,
Andrew. Congratulations.
Andrew. You've called me you cut me to the quick. I feel completely out of.
Put this napkin on your lap because you just got served.
I know. I thought we were having a conversation, but apparently it was a very
lap
heated
around this
debate.
empty radio row during the break, just fist pumping.
And I thought we were having a conversation, but apparently this was a very heated debate where the two of us are pitted against each other in a. Well, you're obviously just kissing Kraft's ass. That's all. I'm going to start slinging.
There's no overtime. It was just settled. You heard the whistle blow as I did. This is over.
I'm going to start slinging accusations about your credibility, my friend, if this is where we're going with that.
I do work at the Herald, so.
That's right. So do you think that how much is this killing Kraft?
Oh,
he seems to really want to get into this
big
thing.
time.
Think about it. Like, this is a man who can buy virtually anything he wants. And this is something you can't buy. And people close to him, whether that's Stacey James, the head of PR, making all of these cases, he's having documentaries built to tell the story that he wants on the way out. Of course, this bothers him. This probably bothers him more than anything that you could possibly think of at this stage of his life and his career as an owner.
Yeah.
Yeah, what else is there?
Yeah, there's nothing else. He's done everything else there is to do in this league.
Yeah, it's kind of weird he wants to get in this much. I've always said this. I don't understand really why he wants to get in the Hall of Fame all that much.
Because it immortalizes him to an extent.
Yeah. Yeah, you're in Canton.
Once again, something you can't buy. There's something there left over people can go look at and go, here's a titan
There
of
is
the
no
league.
higher honor in football.
Yes, and he's got everything else but that.
Do you think... Here's an interesting. If you were him, would you rather win the Super Bowl this year or have gotten into the Hall of Fame?
Ooh,
That's a great question.
Hall of Fame.
I can't speak for him, but I agree with Wallach. I think he would choose Hall of Fame.
I think he'd pick Hall of Fame too, which makes me think maybe the Patriots win the Super Bowl now because fate will only grant you one wish.
Yeah. No, it's Hall of Fame. In his mind, I've won enough of this. I've done enough winning. This is what I want now. Absolutely.
It's interesting. It's certainly interesting. Eric, go ahead, sir. You're on with Andrew Callahan, who is in a very hectic, you'll have to excuse the background noise.
Hustle and
Someone
bustle.
did just take my picture, so we have at least a 13th person in here.
Well, they wanted a list of in case something happens.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
I think we need to start thinking about Bill Belichick as a GM as well. We keep putting perception on this Hall of Fame talk, and if we're going to do that, and we're going to talk about Spygate, and we're going to talk about all the exterior factors, we need to keep adding to Bill's resume and talk about the GM factor. He's dual role. When was the last time a coach/GM got into the Hall of Fame? Dual roles. Was it San Francisco 49ers back in 1980? Was that 40 years ago? I mean, we really need to start thinking about his resume more. The people that are on the vote or the voters were absolutely pathetic, and they're just not really thinking about the holistic point of view. They're taking too much political talk on all the negatives. They didn't even look at any of the positives. When you weigh all that out, he's 100% a Hall of Fame candidate. It's an absolute joke.
You're talking about Belichick?
Yes.
Yeah.
Bill Belichick.
Well, no kidding. I mean, yeah. I mean, you're making an argument. None of us. I mean, of course, Bill Belichick should be in. I mean, it's a fact that Bill Belichick should be in the Hall of Fame.
Fred, I think he just won that debate with you too. I think
No, but if you're trying to
I
come
was
up,
vehemently against the idea of Belichick getting in. How dare you?
it seems to me he was trying to make the case that people are factoring in like the whole GM side of his job, and that's what's keeping
No,
him out.
I thought he was saying that the GM side of his job makes it more that he should be into the Hall of Fame.
Oh, I wouldn't use that if I were him in the campaigning.
Well, I mean, he was a successful GM for a while. They won Super Bowls while he was in charge of personnel. So, I mean, at the end, he was terrible. But yes, listen, even for that, just that run, he should be in it. Belichick's not the question. Belichick is more just humorous. And now Jordan gets an excuse to throw a anti-party at the same time.
You invited to that, Andrew?
Did you hear about that? Jordan Hudson.
Tell me more.
Jordan Hudson, it seemingly was drunk when Bill was watching a World War II documentary, and she started putting like Navy slogans and things like that into a tweet, and then she announced that she was going to have a party to go against the Super Bowl, the enshrinement.
Yes.
The Canton enshrinement.
The source says that Tom Brady, Jimmy Johnson, Bill Parcells, and others who were planning on attending Bill's Hall of Fame induction ceremony are invited to this other party that Jordan will be throwing on the same day.
Do you think Parcells can afford not to attend the Hall of Fame ceremony now that Kraft or Belichick are not getting in?
What else does he want? He's got his gold jacket. He can buy anything he wants. The only thing he can't buy is an invite to that party, so he better be there.
Yeah, exactly. What a stupid idea. She didn't tweet the party thing. That was reported.
I was just looking that up. Her last tweet's from January 6th, and that's about something different.
No.
This must have been Instagram.
This is on the Chapel Bill Twitter.
Yeah, this is Bill Belichick's Twitter account.
Oh.
Yeah, she put it up on Bill Belichick's. It's almost like prose. It's a little bit poetry-like.
Well, she is a muse.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of spacing and periods. It's written to look dramatic. She's obviously highly intelligent. Before we break, let's go to Brendan. He has the best question of all. Brendan, go ahead.
Hey, good morning, guys. I think the real question is not whether Kraft would rather win the Super Bowl or get in the Hall of Fame, but would he rather have any of those or a grilled hot dog sliced? Because that never gets old.
That never gets old. You
like
can
it.
always find solace. You like it, right? You like it, right?
They call me Mr. Lemonade.
Does this ever get old? Do you ever not like it? Having a nice hot grilled hot dog sliced? You like it, right?
Yeah. That was like almost 10 years ago, too.
I know. Wow, he's really losing. No, that was quite a while ago.
Yeah, that was not yesterday. All right, Andrew Callahan. Well, have fun hobnobbing and maybe making some connections in the break. We will, as Andrew is at the Super Bowl Media Center, where things are going insane. You can look at his Twitter account and see all the action behind him. We will be back in just a moment.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub. get back to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
Countdown to kickoff. 130 hours to go. Can you believe the Patriots are back in the Super Bowl? The last time they made it this far, Trump was in office. But things were a lot different in 2019. Back then, I thought Bad Bunny was a Playboy centerfold who didn't show off all the goods. Right, guys? What a buzzkill.
All right, it's
not cool.
No, it's not. There. That's right.
What's the point?
The point is. The point is.
What do you think of it, crowd, huh?
That's Sarge introducing the Hellman's mayonnaise commercial at the Patriots event on Sunday. They gave the crowd at the Patriots going away celebration a opportunity to see a early version of a 60-second Hellman's mayonnaise commercial that will air during the Super Bowl.
Thanks to our friends over at Hellman's.
Yes. And then they acted like it. Instead of just showing the Hellman's commercial, they hyped up the Hellman's commercial.
You get a sneak peek.
I would like to be the ad buyer at Hellman's who is like, they're like, don't worry, we'll hype it up. That's what I need. I need you to convince these rubes that you're doing something good for them.
What do you
showing
think
them this
of it,
commercial.
crowd, huh?
Big mayo, you know? It's mind control, man. All right. Andrew Callahan is at the very hectic San Francisco Media Center, where we are fortunate enough to talk to him. Is he on YouTube? Can you see him on YouTube? You can see him up there on the YouTube. You can see the hustle and bustle of the Media Center. I read something about Sam Darnold here, and I thought it was interesting because it's kind of seems to counter itself. It says Darnold performed better against the blitz than he has against four-man rushes, but when Darnold's kept clean, he plays like one of the NFL's best quarterbacks, ranking third in EPA per pass play, but on snaps when pressured, Darnold drops all the way down to 28th in EPA per pass play. It seems like, by blitzing, you'd get more pressure on him. How do you explain that? What have you seen from Sam Darnold in your intense film study?
Yeah, I think the latter stat, Fred, is more telling, and it's also more of what Sam Darnold's been his entire career, right? Like the difference between him now and what you saw some of the Jets years and even like the 49ers and Carolina stints is he didn't get a whole lot of clean pockets. So what you saw was that quarterback who ranked somewhere 28th in EPA per play, I think you said, and 40th, and just kind of melted down over and over and over again. This guy now who has some protection, a good offensive scheme around him, and oh, by the way, probably a top 5 receiver in Jackson Smith and Jigba, he's got options and he's got time. And when he's got options and time, looks like the guy that was once worthy of the number 3 overall pick in the draft and was the MVP going back to college of the Rose Bowl. So with Sam Darnold, the blitz is just a complete boomer bust proposition, right? You get there, you get pressure, thumbs up. When you don't get there, you give him one-on-ones across the board. And his numbers also against man coverage are very, very good this year, which I would look at less like a Sam Darnold stat and, again, more like a Jackson Smith and Jigba stat, which also helps explain some of the blitz numbers, which happen when that doesn't get home. He's got a great outlet, honestly, one of the best in the league.
Okay, I'm going to call him JSN so I don't have to say the whole name. I find it very hard to say the last name of that. So JSN, apparently, you mentioned top 5 receivers in the league, maybe the best receiver this year. He, I guess, is unstoppable in man coverage. Do you think Gonzalez, there could be times where Gonzalez is on him one-on-one, or do you think that the Patriots are going to have to scheme around that?
Yeah, for sure. I think it'll be more situational, though, than people have it in their minds, middle of Super Bowl week, where it's just like, stick Gonzalez and JSM wherever he goes. I mean, a lot of Seattle opponents have had good corners, and they want to do that too. The problem is they put him in motion. They put him in stacks. They put him in bunches. They have him crisscross and do all these different route combinations that are designed to beat man coverage. And Christian Gonzalez can overcome some of that, but I think what you'll see are some brackets. What you'll see is some zone coverage that tilts towards his direction, and you'll see some disguise because they're going to try to find out what they have pre-snap like any good offense does. And if you have Christian Gonzalez shadow him, they might think it's man, but in that case, if they flip to more of a zone concept, which defenses are starting to do to protect themselves against that old, if we bring someone in motion and the defender across from him follows him, that's man coverage. They've got more tricks in the bag like that. I think you'll see the Patriots go to all of that. But ultimately, highest leverage situations, more often than not, you'll probably see Christian Gonzalez across from JSN.
Okay, Florio was on with Felger and Maz yesterday, and I heard about 5 minutes of it. And does he love Vrabel? The difference in this game is Vrabel, and Vrabel. And then he had another guy on that was from Tennessee that's no fan of Vrabel, and he compared this team to the 2008 Chicago Bears Super Bowl team with Lovie Smith.
And Rex Grossman sounded like a guy I would definitely want to listen to talk about football.
Absolutely. So anyway, do the Patriots have that big a coaching advantage in this game?
No, I don't think so. I mean, there's no one right now situationally better than Mike Vrabel. But some of the stats, Fred, that I like to look at in terms of, okay, is this team well coached? Defensively, it's tackling. Like, are you wrapping up? Are you eliminating explosive plays? And the Seahawks have a ton of talent, but we've seen talented teams year in and year out not play to that potential. And when we all looked at the Seahawks before the season, if we were being honest with ourselves, just like the Patriots, no one saw 14-3. No one saw making a Super Bowl run. But Mike McDonald was a good coach in Baltimore. He's a great coach here. And he's got some, people in his ear, too, situationally that I don't think are as good as, John Streicher is for Vrabel. But the idea that there's a big coaching advantage here with the Patriots, I mean, if we look back and they win, Vrabel will be a part of that story because the Patriots are underdogs and coaching has to make up for that. But as it stands right now, I think these are both really well-coached teams.
Okay, does Josh McDaniels, I guess this is his 10th Super Bowl in some capacity, is that a big advantage? Does that matter? Because I guess it's not a guarantee that it does, but in your opinion, does it?
Yeah, I think it's probably more of a during the week thing, Fred. Like we heard from Vrabel this week, call Josh McDaniels a real resource. And we all know that Mike Vrabel as a player went to 4 Super Bowls. So for him, he understands the rhythm of the week. You get extra time. How do you handle it? But 10 is a lot more than 4. So Josh McDaniels' feedback there as a head coach is helpful. The one piece I would say that's helpful for him too, and Josh has talked about this, as a play caller, the difference becomes when you get pressure inside of the game or the game goes a very different way than you expect. Do you stick to your 6 days of preparation that said, this will work, we know these plays are good against their defense, which is bad in this area, or do you respond more quickly to what your eyes are showing you? Clint Kubiak is 37, 38 years old. He's a really smart offensive play caller and offensive play designer. What is he like under pressure, though? And he was good in the NFC Championship game, don't get me wrong. But that's a lot. That's more than 6 days. We're talking 12 or 13 of him looking at the Patriots, seeing one thing. And if they come out with a changeup or suddenly they start to play in a very different way and successfully so, does he stick to his game plan? Does he pivot? Because I know what Josh McDaniels will do.
Yeah, I guess that would be the question for me is what can Josh McDaniels do? Because as well as some of these guys have performed and maybe beyond expectation offensively for the Patriots, I don't know that he has as many options as he would like at this stage. You've got great performances from the likes of Demario Douglas, and you've got Hunter Henry, chipping in and filling in. And it's nice to have Mac Hollins back, but when it comes to adding wrinkles at this point, I don't know that he has the ability to do that.
Well, he can always add wrinkles. I mean, they've got a giant playbook, and now you've got coaches like Thomas Brown and Todd Downing who have been elsewhere in the league and have been in a variety of different offenses. The issue to me, Hardy, is more like, can you do anything against Seattle's defense? And look, I have been at the front of the Drake May hype train since he was a college prospect. But the point is, this is a defense that is the best in the league against run and against the pass. They're excellent up front. You've had issues protecting Drake May, who under pressure has been a very different player in the playoffs than he was in the regular season. If Josh McDaniels goes to the same old wells the Seahawks have seen, chips for his offensive tackles, screens, draws, they're going to get wise to that pretty quickly. What can he do that's a little bit more sustainable to help them move the ball? Because I just don't think the Patriots are going to be able to run down after down after down. What they're going to be banking on is an explosive play here, an explosive play there. Henderson, Stevenson get loose, and that's it. But the passing game is going to be just as much of a struggle because the Seahawks are going to feel good with their secondary matchups against Stephon Diggs and Kayshon Boutte and Demario Douglas and Mac Hollins. What is Josh McDaniels going to do to spring them open? That, to me, is going to be really key, and especially in the first quarter, that allows him to dictate terms to a really good defense that normally is the one doing that to opposing offenses.
Do you think Henderson's going to get a lot of snaps?
I mean, a lot, no. No, I would put, if we're doing over-unders, probably 9.5.
Right.
Because it was 4 in the AFC Championship game. And that told you, as much as any game has this season, we don't trust you yet in blitz pickup. And look, when we talk about Henderson, we always have to remember that Ramondre Stevenson is maybe playing the best football of his career. So this is not just a slight against a super speedy rookie. But when you're playing a defense like Denver, that was high blitz, pressure, exotic stuff, I don't want the rookie who's given up more pressures or whatever it is, according to PFF, than any other running back in blitz pickup. So for him, though, I think if you only held him to 4 snaps, you'd be leaving some points and yards on the table because they'll have matchups against a guy like Drake Thomas, who's a really good run-stopping linebacker for Seattle. But you split him out wide, you get a double move, which the Patriots like to do in empty. That, to me, is a matchup you should exploit, and it's specifically through Travion Henderson.
How does Josh feel about the left side of that offensive line holding up against that Seattle defensive line at this point?
It's a great question, Wallach. I think they're going to let them try to play one-on-one early, and I just mentioned empty. That's actually one where, Drake May's in the backfield, and you got 5 receivers split out wide, whether they're tight ends, receivers, running backs, doesn't matter, but it's just him alone in the backfield. That's an area where Seattle's actually been a little bit weak, and to me, I think will help, because even if, let's say, those guys get beat, Drake May has the full picture, and he knows the whole internal clock and time of that play is on him. So you'll see some help, but I think they need to figure out, can Will Campbell hold up like he did against Nick Benito after an early pressure against Denver? Wasn't a problem there for them against the Broncos. Or is this more of like a Will Anderson game? That's something you really only find out in the first couple of drives. They'll give him some help, and Jared Wilson too. Jared Wilson's probably more of an issue in my mind against Leonard Williams. But I think they're going to let him test it out early one-on-one, maybe with some help and obvious third and longs.
Oh, I'm just wondering about the overall total for the game. I was talking about this last night with Joe Murray, looking at specifically the alternate point totals for this one, because the more I think about it, the more I think it's going to be a lower scoring affair than a lot of people are anticipating.
That's the way the Patriots can win if the score is down.
And maybe that's why. Have you given any thought to this, Andrew? Like, I don't expect like a repeat of the Super Bowl against the Rams, but I could easily see this thing kind of getting bogged down as the defenses try and outduel each other.
I think this game will resemble that one, Hardy, 13-3, more than any other Super Bowl we've seen from the Patriots. And that's to say, just a credit to both defenses. But look, we looked at these teams preseason, middle of the season, even late, and we're like, yeah, you really sure about Sam Darnold? Or can the Patriots defense hold up? So far in the playoffs, yes. But there's a question of, do these teams progress, not in terms of negatively, but in terms of who they've been for most of the year? Or do they continue to be the teams that we see in the postseason? In either instance, I think you're going to see more of a low-scoring game. So, yeah, absolutely. And I was talking to a couple Patriots coaches yesterday at opening night. They had the same thought, and one of them coaches offense. So I'm going to trust my instinct, yours, and both of theirs.
I like that.
There you go. There's some insider information.
I like that.
All right. I hope you don't disturb all the other broadcasts, Andrew, when we do 2 stats and 1 lie coming up. Try to keep it down.
Hold on, I haven't checked the background here in a minute.
Yeah. How many people?
No, it's still empty.
How many people would you say are there now, Andrew?
Okay, we're well over 50. I hate to burst your bubble, Fred, but I can turn around and scream 2 stats and a lie that way to test your theory if we can disturb anybody.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you're saying there's 50 people there?
50 at least.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. So the answer is 5:40 is when the people start coming in. All right, Andrew, we will be back in just one moment. Here are the headlines.
Essential Sports Hub headline presented by
only one lie, maybe. Two steps, one lie. Won't you give it a try?
All right, it is time for Two Stats, One Lie. Hardy, when you were gone, Nick played in your stead, and we had big stakes on it, and Nick got it right.
That's what I hear. And I remember waking up on the cruise that morning and realizing it was Tuesday, and I texted 12. And by the way, the narrative that I was somehow lonely in my cabin and, like checking in with the show all the time.
I spread that. My bad.
Yeah, not true.
Oh.
But that one morning I did, and thank you to Nicholas. So I believe that puts Fred at 6, me at 5, Wallach at 7.
No, you're at 6
No,
now,
you're at 6.
Hardy, because that was 2 points.
I'm at 7.
Yeah,
So-
Fred and Nick got it right. Now I got it wrong. So Fred and I are at 7, and you're at 6.
Correct.
With 2 weeks left.
Right, I got it right as well.
And all of the 3 lies are off the table now. So now it's just straight up the next couple of
Boring
weeks.
now.
For Hardy to win,
It's horrible.
he would have to get the next 2, obviously, and John and I would have to go over.
All right.
So this is really Hardy's last crack at it if he doesn't get it right.
Rumor is in this ghost town, Pat McAfee, who's right next door, might be swinging by soon. If you want to keep me on so I can grab him.
Sure. Yeah.
Perfect.
If the mic cable will stretch high enough, because he does not sit down.
That's a good point.
He's a man who stands up.
How will our monitors capture him?
I heard ESPN was getting there on Wednesday.
They're already set up.
No, I know they're set up, but I heard that they were going there on Wednesday. That's what I read in a trade publication, is that ESPN was planning to get there on Wednesday. All right, but maybe I'm wrong, or maybe I got the wrong information. Certainly their radio, I guess, is coming on Wednesday. All right, make
All
with
right,
the
testing
question.
1, 2, 3. Let's do this. It takes 2 steps and the other 9. And one lie, see if you can get it right.
All right, big day, a big week for Hardy. All right, what are the questions today, or the stats today?
Number 1, Drake May has broken more tackles than any Patriots wide receiver this season. Number 1, Drake May has broken more tackles than any Patriots wide receiver this season. Number 2, Mike Vrabel has never lost to the Seahawks as a player or head coach.
I hate
Number 2, Mike Vrabel has never lost to the Seahawks as a player or head coach. Number 3, no player on the Seahawks active roster has ever played a snap for the Patriots. Number 3, no player on the Seahawks active roster has ever played a snap for the Patriots.
All right. Gosh. I hate the Vrabel one. You did one like this a couple weeks ago. I hated it.
There's
Which
no
one
way
was that,
we
Hardy?
could
'Cause I don't
ever
think
know
that's true.
one. There's no way we could ever know one.
Yeah,
No way.
It would stand to reason that May has broken more tackles, though, because he holds on. I mean, he's got the ball in his hand so much.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, and also what constitutes a broken tackle?
Yeah, just like if someone's laying on the ground and you get your foot out of it, I would say that's a broken tackle.
Or
According to
he runs
PFF,
away.
who charts this for everybody. They call it missed tackles forced.
But I mean, he runs away from a guy who gets a hand on him as he goes by. Is that a broken
It's
tackle?
also missed tackles. He's saying missed tackles forced.
What was broken there, Wallach? Like a fingernail? Not a tackle.
Okay.
But you just said it was missed tackles, not
No, he said broken
No,
tackles.
but he just said the PFF stat is missed tackles. So the stat
According to
you're
PFF.
using is missed tackles forced.
Yes.
So if I cut and he dives at me and misses me, that counts.
No, because there needs to be. Look, it's Pro Football Focus's definition here with the broken tackles, which I kept as a simpler term. We can dive into the minutia, Fred, but I think there has to be a lot more contact than diving and missing.
Okay. All right.
All right. In terms of Vrabel never losing to Seattle as a player or coach, who knows?
I mean, 3 would be most likely the lie because there's
Yeah, 0 snaps for a Patriots active.
out of 50-plus guys.
But, I mean, the way he phrased it, there might be a guy on the practice squad for Seattle. You know what I'm saying? There might be a guy
no,
there.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That is most likely the lie. If you were going to go by obvious, 3 would be the lie.
Would you restate number 3, please, Andrew?
I'm glad you asked me to do that, Hardy. No player on the Seahawks active roster has ever played a snap for the Patriots. So that excludes the practice squad.
Yeah, but that's the one obviously most likely to be the lie because the chances of that would be very slim in comparison to the others. But Vrabel didn't play the Seahawks a lot, I would imagine, as a coach or head coach or as a player.
Right.
So I'll go first then, because 2 I'm saying is true. Let's just say 3. I'll go with the obvious. I'll just say 3 is the lie. Why not? Sometimes you got to play hunch. Maybe he was on the plane too long. He's out there in the hustle and bustle of what's going on out there.
Me? All right.
Yeah, that's right, John.
All right, I'll go next. And Fred, this doesn't do well for the game, but that's what I think too. Having listened to all of this, I think 3 is the lie.
We're
also.
tied. That's fine.
3 is the lie also.
Well, in the spirit of gamesmanship. Number 1 seems obvious, and we all think it's true.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the lie.
And he really went in. He bent over himself to explain the definition of it.
Yeah.
And he's going by PFF, which is
I was trying to help you, Fred.
It's not PFF. There's still a human element to that. You understand? It's not something that can. It's not a fact or fiction.
I'd really be going out on a limb if I said number 1 was a lie. And
This is huge for Hardy.
As opposed to, I know, as opposed to
Just
number
wanted
2.
to make you aware of the pressure you have here, pal.
Nick got you back in the game.
Vrabel,
He did. Don't let him
Vrabel
down.
never did. Nick have any logic to his ansor?
No.
I had to really
You
talk.
had to explain it to him.
Believe me,
yeah.
I did you a huge favor. I I would to one of my children years ago.
Yeah.
I went through all the questions and explained
He
them
had
to
a
him.
33% chance and a long shot cashed in, is what that was.
It was the best performance of the season. I'll give you that for
No,
sure.
I helped you.
Well done by Fred.
Yeah, I gave you a huge assist on that.
Yeah.
I'm saying number 1 is the lie. The obvious truth is the lie.
All right. Well, the good news is it's going to be close next week. The bad news is none of you got it correctly. Number 2 was the lie.
Damn it.
All right, there you go.
So number 1, Drake May has broken 15 tackles. The receiver with the most is Stephon Diggs with 12 this season. That is regular season and postseason. Mike Vrabel lost his last game against Seattle as a head coach. That was at the end of the 2023 season with the Titans. And no player in the Seahawks active roster has ever played a snap for the Patriots. In fact, there's only one who's ever signed a contract with them. Eric Sober, a tight end they traded for. I honestly forgot about this my second year in the beat. During training camp in 2019, and then they cut him about 4 weeks later.
So when did Vrabel lose to the Seahawks?
He lost to them as a head coach at the end of the 2023 season. It was Christmas Eve 2023.
Okay.
And how many broken tackles does May have? Do you know?
15.
And then
Diggs has how many?
12.
12.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Very good.
Really fun.
Andrew's got 2 stats. Andrew's got 2 stats. But he's got 1 lie. But he's got 1 lie.
So we have to give ourselves some credit. Is that the one that we knew based on the way May plays, we got that one right.
Yeah. And I
Do you want to have a point?
outfoxed myself.
Well, Hardy can't win this now, which is going to bother him more than it would Wallach or I.
Yeah.
So we got that going for ourselves. All right, Andrew, stay safe. Enjoy the miles and miles of driving ahead of you.
Are you staying anywhere close to where you are right now? How long a drive was it for you to get there?
It was an 8-minute walk.
Oh,
So
okay.
no problems getting here. The
Nice.
issue is that both teams are staying an hour away in Santa Clara or San Jose.
Yeah,
so we
so-
take buses to get down there.
A guy down there, I can't remember who, sent me an email yesterday with a Google map that it was an hour and 46 minutes to San Jose yesterday from where they were staying.
With traffic, yeah, probably. I'll also, by the way, have to reschedule next week because I am flying back on a red-eye Tuesday morning. So hopefully see you Wednesday, Thursday, or I can figure it out with 12.
That's fine. Wednesday.
We'll get you sorted
Wednesday
out.
or
Yeah.
Thursdays.
Yeah, that's fine.
One day we have Perry, but maybe we can move Perry. All right. Thank you, Andrew. We appreciate it.
You got it. Anytime, guys.
All right. Enjoy the Super Bowl. We will be back in but a moment.
Toucher and Hardy, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Bowl's opening night in San Jose last night. They play Seattle Sunday evening, and the Seahawks have one of the top receivers in the game, and Jackson Smith-Njigba. Christian Gonzalez should see a lot of him.
Can do everything from every spot of the field. You know, he's a smooth runner, smooth route runner. Can run every route. It's just an amazing player. I mean, I got the most respect for him, and excited for Sunday.
The big story this morning, though, ESPN is reporting that Robert Kraft was not elected to the Pro Football Hall of Fame this year. Celtics had last night off. They open up a Texas back-to-back in Dallas tonight against Cooper Flagg and the Mavericks. Grandy and Max have the pregame at 7:30 and the tip-off at 8 here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Celtics are in Houston tomorrow evening. The NBA trade deadline is Thursday afternoon. Multiple reports overnight indicate the Clippers are in advanced talks with Cleveland about a deal involving James Harden. Bruins yesterday placed Elias Lindholm on injured reserve and activated defenseman Jordan Harris. Their final game before the Olympic break is tomorrow night on the road against Florida. The New England Revolution have signed team captain Carlos Heel to a 3-year contract extension. And at the Beanpot, it'll be BC against BU in the final on Monday. BU beat Northeastern 3-2 in a shootout. BC got a pair of goals from Bruins first-round draft pick James Higgins in their game to beat Harvard 5-1. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by John Sewer and Drain Cleaning, 24-hour on-call service for your clogged drain emergencies. Go to johnsewer.com. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 9:30.
You actually coaching the game, or it's just
that is. I feel so strongly about that. I can't even tell you.
Boston Talk Sports here.
What do we got?
The Sports Hub.
And now, back to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub. Countdown to kickoff. 129 hours to go. Man, did you come to the right place? We're going to be hosting a pigskin powwow all week long. Nothing but football, and, let me think about it. Hold on a second. Football! It's going to be a real gridiron gab fest.
All right, it is the countdown to the Super Bowl. We are Toucher and Hardy. You can watch us on YouTube. You can subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube. Bad Bunny, sadly, is performing at halftime of the Super Bowl. A lot of problems with that. He's from Puerto Rico, which is not really even a state. It's not a state.
Really?
Now, you don't need a passport to go there, but it's not a state enough. And he's going to sing in Spanish. Which is offensive to people for some reason, including according to a poll done, I can't remember who did the poll, but 45% or something of the NFL players don't think Bad Bunny should be doing the halftime show.
One offensive lineman quoted anonymously as saying he'd like to have somebody American.
Yeah.
It's like, dude.
Well, there was a lot of controversy when Sir Paul McCartney did it. Did Elton John do a halftime show? I don't know. U2's from Ireland, so there you go. There's two. In all seriousness, the notion about this that I find the funniest is as if the Super Bowl owes you a good halftime show. Things like the Super Bowl generally don't have good things. Like, they're things that are designed for the most mass audience are generally things that you are not going to particularly enjoy.
Well, the commercials.
Right.
The commercials are going to be good. We know that.
It is fascinating to me because never in my life did I think like I deserved to be entertained. Now, I've ridiculed things plenty and you know, especially something I'm not paying for. Like, if I went to go see the Beastie Boys in 2004 and, you know, they had some weird, like, drum circle band open up, I might be like, what the hell? Like, this sucks. I paid for a ticket. But I even that wouldn't bother me that much. But, like, free entertainment on commercial television, like, who likes the Super Bowl halftime show? I liked Prince. But other than that, I can't think of any that I even paid attention to. I paid attention to Prince.
I liked the one in L.A. with Snoop and
Mary J. Blige, Dr. Dre.
I thought that was. I liked the presentation of it, and I thought that was entertaining.
And you have to understand that, like, you know, these Super Bowls, I was either a child, and that was like when Up with People and stuff, or like, you know, an Ode to Miami was on. like a parade. But then I was
and the
drinking.
magician, Presto.
Yeah, with Max Headroom or whatever. I just read about that. I don't remember that. But or I was at parties drinking, and then really, who cares? If I can't drink anymore, so now I'm more likely than any that I didn't think Kendrick Lamar was particularly good, but I didn't care. The Weeknd I thought was stupid with how mirrors and everything.
A lot of mirrors, yes.
But what the hell?
People lost their minds over Katy Perry too, and I'm like, would you stop?
Yeah, I don't even remember that. Usually I was at parties, or certainly at least a gathering of more than one or two people, and I was drunk. It's 8:30 on Super Bowl Sunday. I'm generally drunk, which I'd imagine most people are. Which, again, I just don't understand. Whatever the reason, I don't understand this. There's an obligation. Eddie Trunk does this with his rock and roll thing. And I say rock and roll, meaning that it's rock and roll. Why is rock and roll not rock and roll? Rock and roll is some kind of minority that's being stomped upon by the NFL. AC/DC should play. Well, first of all, should they? Have you seen Angus Young recently? Not great. And, again, no one owes you anything.
Yeah.
I don't like Bad Bunny, what I've heard of him. I don't like it, but what do I care if he plays it? What the hell difference is that between that and some garbage country crap my son listens to?
You missed out. You forgot to mention the Five. The Five did it in
Oh, I mean, Maroon
2019.
5 were just a ridiculously bad band. I mean, and that was almost worth it because I don't know if I was sober when Maroon 5 played, but regardless, it still resonated with me because he took his shirt off, and you were like, that's like me taking my shirt off almost. I don't know if you should have taken your shirt off. You're not that sexy. And also you got a big Epiphone tattoo on you, and that's not even a good guitar.
I think the Five were a month before the shutdown, if I remember right.
Yeah, then I was definitely drinking. Okay, so nonetheless, if you were to, so Turning Point USA said that they were going to do a halftime show, and then I thought they weren't going to do it anymore, but they are. And
What is Turning Point USA?
it's the group, the political action group that Charlie Kirk was the founder.
Oh, okay, all right.
I believe. Again, I didn't know who Charlie Kirk was when he was
Yes.
savagely assassinated.
Yeah,
I did not
nonprofit
know
founded
who he
in
was.
2012 by Charlie Kirk.
Which
Okay.
I'm actually quite proud of. I did not know who he was. That shows you that I'm not spending all my time watching what people on the internet have to say about politics. But nonetheless, if I was to tell you a right-wing group was having a alternative Super Bowl halftime show to the anti-American horse nonsense that is going on with and I suppose people are going to email and go Bad Bunny is anti-ICE, and I would say, as opposed to whom? Kid Rock. Because if I was to say who was of what artists are not anti-ICE, if I was to tell you a conservative group was putting on a halftime show, you would say Kid Rock was going to play.
Kid Rock was going to be there then, and
Okay.
after that, it's a conversation. I'm not sure.
So this is a conversation we had. Turns out, we did prep this, that Kid Rock is 4 years older than me. Kid Rock, when I was in high school, I knew people in college that were in fraternities that were hiring Kid Rock because he was so ridiculous with his wannabe rapper crap that they would hire him to ridicule him. And this is before Yodeling in the Valley and stuff, and when he would do Stern, and this is obviously way before Ba with the Ba. This is before he became famous. He was a suburban Detroit rapper that was very, 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 in looks, attitude, and sound, very similar to Vanilla Ice, who, by the way, is also doing these events now.
Oh.
Here's an example of what Kid Rock sounded like when I was in high school. Oh, Yodeling Valley's off the Grits thing.
This is the first, but this
this
is
the one
single,
before it.
yeah,
Okay,
this is like the single version.
All right, this is pro-American country music Kid Rock.
Yeah,
this is what he was doing when
1990.
This is what he was doing when I was 15.
For something, Fred?
Yeah, going downtown. That's a song about going downtown.
Yeah.
Which in the rap community is very controversial. Jay-Z and Nas and Ethers accuses Jay-Z of doing it.
There's the majority of a Sopranos episode devoted to it.
Yeah.
Uncle Junior.
I have no problem with that. I don't find it emasculating. I will do it all day if I have to.
Once again, this is the artist that will be performing at the event dedicated to American faith, family, and freedom.
Yes, this is. He had "Yodeling in the Valley," which was a song about obviously, with
Lingus,
the Ling, Lingus. But also, this is the big country American guy. This is when I was 15. This is what he was doing. Another example.
Seen a fly skinny on the avenue, my shades down, hat flip, on a catch you could not believe my eyes.
My point is that he is in that era desperately trying to be as black as possible in what he perceives as hip hop. So I mean, and he had a high top fade. I mean, he looked like it was ridiculous. And he was from way more suburban Detroit than me, like far further from the city than I was. And I would have been mortified. Like Eminem had to like go to the shelter and like do like battles and stuff. But Kid Rock hustled and deserves his fame. But you have to understand, to Hardy and I, that like grew up in the same area as him, this is fascinating. Like, he's not that guy. Like, he is not that guy. He is this way because he was forced into it economically.
A delicious break from potatoes.
He was forced into this economically. Well, so anyway, the other people that are playing the Turning Point USA alternative halftime show to the Bad Buddy thing, and he's from Puerto Rico, so turn it off. Turn it off. I don't understand a word of it, and I don't like that. I don't like that. If only there was an alternative. If so, again.
There's your alternative.
All right. I mean, listen, if it was the difference between Kid Rock and Bad Bunny, it's like a coin flip. I really don't care. I don't like either of them. But again, I don't care what the NFL halftime show does, who performs, because they don't owe me anything. And it's a massive corporate affair, which I'm generally not going to enjoy.
Okay, so but I want you to enjoy things in life, Fred. So, all right, you're out on Bad Bunny. You're out on Kid Rock.
I got a freak, so I'm gonna wax her booty.
So, and this alternate programming, you also have Brantley Gilbert.
All right.
Okay.
Brantley Gilbert. I've never heard of Brantley Gilbert, but I'd imagine my son likes Brantley Gilbert because he listens to terrible country music. I'm assuming these are country artists.
You assume correctly.
Yeah, because if you are going to go on the limb, you're placating to a base that is.
Brantley Gilbert known for the song "Bottoms Up," which I'm guessing has to do with tipping up a red Solo cup and drinking out of it.
Okay, I thought it would be to the ladies to start clapping. All right, here is what Brantley Gilbert sounds like. And I will give him
good. It's good.
Yeah, he's talking about driving down the freeway, and there's nothing more. Can
Well,
Bad Bunny do that?
it's more American than this gobbledygook.
What if he's talking about driving? What if he's talking about driving down an interstate? You don't know what he's talking
There
about.
are no interstates in Puerto Rico because it's not a state, dummy.
He can travel to and from the United States. All right. Here is another person, Gabby Barrett. This is the good ones. It's about Darius Rucker.
We chose this song for the title.
One of them
good ones.
He's a good one.
Yeah, what was it? Hang on, Cletus.
Like Darius
Give him a
Rucker.
second. This is one of them good
Thank
ones.
God. All right.
All right. So here we go. This is Gabby Barrett. Here's the artist Gabby Barrett that will be performing on the alternate halftime show should you choose to listen. Touche.
She's from Pittsburgh. I bet Zoe likes her.
That plays, though. She does say Bible, so I will give her the nod and say that is a appropriate. I told you I worked with a guy that used to take his family to church to watch the Super Bowl because Apparently, they were the only ones who could turn the channel. So what they would do is they would turn the channel before commercials. Do you remember the Danica Patrick? Because, was she hot. The Danica Patrick.
Not bad.
Yeah, I know you like her. The Danica Patrick, that stupid internet.
GoDaddy.
GoDaddy.
And like there was all that controversy about
there was another woman that was with her in that.
But this was
that.
specifically what Wally's was upset about. And I really like Wally, and he's a Christian radio guy now, and I really like him. But he would go to this church, and he would have them turn the channel. Even though that's super weird, at least I knew where he stood. It was like, I find sex reprehensible. I don't want my kids seeing any anything like remotely sexual. At least that was the thing. I still don't quite understand the whole Bad Bunny thing, but nonetheless. And finally, here is the final artist, Lee Brice. I will judge how American he is by his lyrics. Here, bar your whole life. That seems to be a very limited point of view.
Hey, he's from small town, Sumter, South Carolina.
Yeah, but I mean, wouldn't you want to go to like neighboring town bars too?
No. I'm going to drive over the county line. I don't know that. I don't know that, Sheriff. I only know J.D. Shellnut.
Is that the Mason-Dixon line I spy?
Hang on a second. I have seen Porky's. I do know the implication. But seriously, there's going to be some guys that never get laid, because I would have to imagine that at a certain point that the women are all spoken for in this small town. I mean, it would seem like you would have to go out, and you're hanging out with the people you went to middle school with.
You just have
and
to
you dropped out with when you were 14.
You just have to try a little harder. You got to provide something.
Wally does not like that. All right,
the other guys aren't.
People would know if you all went to school together what was going on. But the two of them, they're old friends. I'm on the fence if that's American enough. The woman I like, she says Bible right away, so I am all for her. There's a Bible by the bed. So just know that's out there. Should you want it, there is finally an alternative.
How can we find this?
I don't know.
Is it's on some kind of network? What are we talking about?
It's on the internet. I don't care.
Streaming.
Yeah, it's on the internet somewhere. Right. You can look
across Turning Point USA's social platforms, as well as Daily Wire Plus, TBN, Real America's Voice, and OANN.
Oh, good.
Well, OWN is the Oprah network, so OANN is something else. All right. Well, very good. So that's at least an option. And finally, kind of my point is, like, if Wally, who was the guy who went to church to watch the Super Bowl, like, Kid Rock would not be appropriate for that at all. Like, Kid Rock's dirty. Like, real dirty.
Yeah.
Like, stone cold pimp. He was a pimp. A man who sold women into prostitution is what he would do. A man who collected money from prostitutes for having sex with men out of wedlock. So that's a little weird. That's what I don't understand. Is that like Kid Rock's like dirtier than...
Shouted out Heidi Fleiss in his hit song Cowboy.
I mean, he's dirty, swears all the time. I mean, I don't understand. I don't understand why he is so family friendly.
A delicious break from potatoes.
Thank you,
It's not a very good song. All right, so we'll be back in just a moment with the award-winning email segment.
He's one of the good ones. More Toucher and Hardy next on the Sports Hub.
All right, it might be last call for football, but FanDuel is giving you a daily profit boost.
I got an idea for a bit. The email bit. We should do the email bit. It's a great idea. Let's do the email bit.
All right, the Toucher and Hardy email segment is powered by Jeffrey Glassman Injury Lawyers. If you've been hurt in a car or work accident, you got to get Glassman. Don't just send an email. Call all sevens at 617-777-7777 or visit gottagetglassman.com. All right, I would imagine with the Super Bowl, people are very excited. We played Sarge earlier. This was from, we got an email at 5:58. This was from someone who was at the big Patriots send-off party, and you were there. It was very cold, and you've, been standing there for a long time. You're all revved up, and then this happens.
Super Bowl season comes around. Everyone's excited for the football, but a lot of people are also excited for the commercials in between the action. Well, for joining us here today, you get a sneak peek at a Super Bowl commercial that will be airing next Sunday. Thanks to our friends over at Helmets.
What do you think of it, crowd, huh?
Huh? A new mayonnaise commercial. Huh? What do you think? Pretty cool.
Huh?
You're not even around the TV. And we're playing you commercials, right?
You left the house and got outside so you wouldn't be sitting inside watching TV. You know what we're going to do? We're going to show you the worst part of TV. We're going to show you a commercial.
Sure, you can watch Hellman's commercials on your little TV at home, but I mean, look at the big screen we got.
We got a big-ass Jumbotron right here.
Yeah, you can
What do you
experience
think of it, crowd, huh?
Yeah. All right. Dave says that sound that just sound to me like Sarge GPT mayonnaise just dropped. That is true. He could have a branded mayo. Sarge GPT mayonnaise.
GPT's not scary. It's your old pal Sarge. See that tree and that clown? You're gonna die.
Sarge Spooky T says, Caroline, don't go into the light.
Thank you, Sarge. GPT.
Hey, Fred, got an email here from Dewey. Is this true? Eddie Trunk's coming to Boston for the Ultimate Shredder contest?
Yeah, now at first when I heard Ultimate Shredder, I wouldn't connect Eddie. I wouldn't connect Trunk with that. It doesn't sound like something that would be in his wheelhouse. Eddie Trunk was shredding. Just kidding. They go together like peanut butter and jelly. I have heard. People have told me that Eddie Trunk is coming to down for the Ultimate Shredder contest. Now, what is that? Is that a skills competition involving tasty licks, or what are we talking about here?
It is an air guitar competition.
Oh.
We're going to have to find a way to incorporate this whole experience. Maybe send Nick out.
Well, it's no small affair if they can afford to fly out the trunk.
That's the suggestion from Dewey. You should ask Nick to ask the attendees about things in general, but also what they thought of the Bad Bunny show.
They're just not gonna have liked it. They're not gonna. Eddie Trunk. It's not a political thing. Eddie Trunk's thing is that the reason why Eddie Trunk's so funny about it is that it's decidedly not political.
It's wrong.
It's just he views rock music as like an endangered, downtrodden by the man entity that needs to be like resuscitated and saved, and that for no reason people like he looks at it like a marginalized population that the NFL is deliberately marginalizing in the effort to not spread the gospel of rock and roll.
There isn't one iota of rock and roll.
Yeah, he hates it. Like his idea for San Francisco, as I told you, was of course Metallica, but have a rotating stage with Journey and Sammy Hagar.
Right. All the San Francisco
Dio,
icons.
Sabbath, Rainbow.
That's all the things that Ronnie James Dio.
Best.
Get Dio in the Hall of Fame. That's a big thing for him too. You know, he was at Ronnie James Dio, like the real funeral.
Ooh.
Let's just say.
Who am I? You don't know who I am?
Gene Simmons is who he was talking to there. I remember.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Blind Scott, by the way, says he'll go with Nick Daddy Trunk.
Oh, good.
So he's got that going there. Let's go to TJ. TJ, hello.
Hello.
So when I was a kid, they used to have the Celebrity Death Match on MTV for an alternative for the halftime show.
They used to have the Butt Bowl, too. Do you recall when Beavis and Butthead would be on the halftime? I believe I used to tune into the Butt Bowl when I was a younger man. MTV used to have alternative programming is nothing new for the halftime show. I did used to tune into Beavis and Butthead when they would have the special halftime thing. But sometimes they would have to cut a video in half.
How about the Puppy Bowl? Puppy Bowl's fun.
Mm. I believe that's Howard Stern's wife is involved in some way with the Puppy Bowl.
I'm sure she is. Dave wants to know, how is the Motor City Madman Wango Tango Ted Nugent not in on the Turning Point USA halftime show?
He would... I mean, now listen, did he get a girl's parents, like a 14, 15-year-old girl's parents' permission to have her move in with him and legally adopt her? If you watch the Behind the Music so he could have a relationship with her? Yes. But he is fervently right-wing. There are some personal issues in there, but in terms of lyrical content, I would think he's far more appropriate. Wang Dang Sweet Poontang, maybe not.
When I was on the cruise, one of the guys in Sponge had played on a couple of Ted Nugent records, one in their latest guitarist. And he had some interesting stories about hanging out with Ted, and I recounted seeing the VH1 program, I'm Being Held by a Rock Star, Get Me Out of Here. And, the kids are assembled on the property and the big unveiling of the rock star, and Ted Nugent rolls up on a four-wheeler, and the look on all their faces is, who is this?
Exactly.
I thought it was supposed to be a rock star. That was the point of this show.
I heard an interview with a guy that used to run the dump on Ted Nugent's show. He had a morning show in Detroit that they put up against Drew and Mike on, I think he was on Wheels or whatever station. And the guy who was running the dump on him was like, he would have to just cut Ted's mic off because Ted would start losing his mind like all the time. Like it was all politics, and he would just start like losing his mind and swearing and saying like outrageous stuff that you just couldn't say on the radio. And then he would cut Ted's mic, and then Ted would get so upset at him because, what are you doing? Like, man. And then it's pretty funny, Artie. I think that you would enjoy that.
Dave wants to know, he says, Kid Rock is a bum, but can we admit Devil Without a Cause is a decent album? It's responsible for the worst era of music, but that album itself is pretty good. Kid Rock isn't a bum, and I enjoyed a lot of Devil Without a Cause, like I Am the Bull God. I thought that was a good song. That was a fun song to play on the radio. Ball with the Ball was a fun song to play on the radio.
Now, Kid Rock, I think, sucks musically, but I will give you this. When he played Woodstock, and I'm dead serious, like he killed. Like he really, really, like that was a great, great performance. But then again, he came out with like a mink coat and a cane in this pimp persona. So I would question how this is like an alternative to Bad Bunny.
Well, how it's about faith, family, and friends, or whatever
like
they're saying.
Because it's really not at all. Like, it's not. Because Kid Rock is not that way. I mean, Kid Rock is an openly drinking and drugs.
Well, the most important thing, Fred, is that he's not this way.
Could have said it any better myself.
I mean, if you gave me the opportunity to see Kid Rock or Bad Bunny, I'd probably choose Kid Rock for a multitude of reasons. A, there's a great chance that it would be funny and a little sad, which with Bad Bunny, I'm just going to be bored. But if my daughter wanted to see either one of them, I'd go. I sit through a Boogie with the Hoodie.
I saw Kid Rock. It wasn't that long ago. It was at Fenway. It was him and Jason Aldean on the co-headlining tour. And Jason Aldean, in a really, really poor judgment, allowed Kid Rock to go on first.
Oh.
Like any night on the tour, I don't know why you would do that. And Kid Rock finished with American Badass and shot the fireworks off.
Yeah.
And, it's pure spectacle. And then you wait around 15 minutes, and Aldean comes out there with his oversized guitar and starts plank, and people were just, this sucks. At least, I mean, I didn't want to stick around for that much of it, but it was with somebody who did, and I'm like, okay, I can't anymore. That lasted half of one song. I'm going to go. I didn't even necessarily want to be here for Kid Rock, but you asked, and
It's like
we're
Fred
here.
for Van Halen when they came through that last time.
Well, I love Van Halen, and when they came out and I'm like, this is not what I want to see.
It was literally half the first song.
It's my favorite song.
Yeah, it was Unchained, right? So
Yeah.
David Lee Roth comes out and stumbles around and pogo sticks on one leg. And
No,
Fred's like,
it was
nope.
that he wasn't singing, and that was like I don't want to.
Yeah.
I'd never seen I'd never seen Van Halen live, and I didn't want to see that. Like I loved them so much when I was a kid. That's not how I wanted to remember them. By the way, I will be at Bruno Mars in Detroit, Michigan on May 9th.
See,
if you're wondering where I am,
That's a concert I want to see.
Which
Yeah.
is supposed to be very good. I'm actually kind of happy that my daughter wants to go.
I think he's doing stadiums, if I remember correctly.
He's doing Ford Field.
He's doing Gillette, I think.
Right,
at some
which is
point.
why you go to Ford Field, because Ford Field is inside. And I'm not driving down to Gillette and sitting in the rain to watch Bruno Mars. I would. It's about $200.
Are you
to
saying
fly to
you'd
Detroit.
rather go to the airport, get on a plane, fly to Detroit, and go to a show there as opposed to just driving to Gillette?
An indoor show?
Just
as
waiting for
opposed
you
to
to
an
say
outdoor
yes.
show? Yeah.
Yes.
Let's run through it. Yeah. It's $200 a ticket to fly there. So I will gladly take that expense. There's no parking, so it's minus the parking from it. And it's 2 nights at a hotel.
September 5th and 6th, right before Memorial Day.
We're not going to be in town.
Labor Day.
We're actually not going to. That's why I had dismissed Boston out of hand at first, is because we will be in Tennessee those dates. Labor Day very late this year.
Yeah, Saturday and Sunday at Gillette.
Yeah,
that weekend.
We will not be here. All right. We will be at my parents' in Tennessee. All right. We will be back in just a moment to finish things up with the stack. Here are the headlines.
Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Super Bowl festivities began.
over and over and over and over. It's just never good. It wasn't funny the first time.
Toucher and Hardy, mornings on the Sports Hub.
We know what you're thinking. What could I possibly have missed from the show?
Made the final voting. He didn't even make it to this point ever before.
And I'm telling you, if I was a voter, and I know that like Eddie, had Callahan on, Eddie DeBartolo Jr. and Jerry Jones,
Rooney.
Rooney, I don't put in that category because Rooney is basically one of the founders of the NFL, which I would give him. Same with what's his face in Kansas City, who I'd imagine's in the Hall of Fame, Lamar Hunt. Like if you owned a team where you could win them in a card game, and your family still owns the team, I'm giving you a little bit of maybe you belong in the Hall of Fame. Like your family is one of the families that, created this product. So Rooney, I put in kind of a different category, but that's my own thing. So maybe, based on the other owners that are in, it's not fair. But if I was a voter, I'd put in any player ahead of an owner.
But presumably whatever kept Belichick out this year is still going to be around next year. And if the voters decided not to put him in because of Spygate and Deflategate
But that's not why. Like, only one guy that didn't vote him in has mentioned Spygate. Like, the rest were basically, you could only vote for 3.
Kraft and Belichick are different.
Yeah,
Kraft
Belichick's
has been
gonna get
eligible
in.
for so long. Nothing's going to change from this year to next. This could be just a one-year punishment for Belichick. He could get in next
Because
year.
if you were like, you have to vote in L.C. Greenwood or whatever coach, I'm voting in L.C. Greenwood and the coach. Any player, Ken Anderson, I'd vote in before I would vote in. I wouldn't vote for either. But if you made me vote between Robert Kraft and Ken Anderson, I'd vote for Ken Anderson because he played. Like, why does an owner need to be in the Hall of Fame unless they founded the league? And I understand there are owners in the league. I don't think they should be in the Hall of Fame. I don't think they should be in there. So I wouldn't. I mean, do you think one of the defensive ends on one of the best defenses of all time that won 4 Super Bowls, should he be in the Hall of Fame or should Robert Kraft be in the Hall of Fame? I think L.C. Greenwood should be in the Hall of Fame, considering he played on those Super Bowl teams. And Steel Curtain, I mean, is there a better defensive line in the history of football? I mean, it's an argument. So if he's at least in that argument, putting him on it. But a very important position on one of the greatest defenses. And I guess for a sustained amount of time, maybe the greatest defense. It was pre-free agency. Maybe the greatest defense of all time. The amount of time they spent together. I mean, you got a year or two here with Baltimore. You had that Bears defense, but they got 1 Super Bowl out of it. So the Eagles had a great defense in the 80s, but they couldn't win a Super Bowl, so who knows?
We got a lot of Mac Hollins stuff from Media Night last night, but there's too much. It's going to require a deeper dive tomorrow because he gets into all kinds of stuff. There's questions about the Warrior movie, which, of course, we've been investigating here a little bit. And, Mike Vrabel jumping on that train.
Has anyone else made the point that I heard Joe do it last night? Joe Murray also made the point, like, you got to win another game. Joe thought the same thing when he heard that. So it wasn't just us. Like, that seemed and I understand it's a rally for the team, and I understand it's going to have a celebratory atmosphere. In players, I have no issue with. When your coach is doing that, it just seems like there's unfinished business, and you're already kind of having your parade.
Right. But Mac also has thoughts on electrical substations and wireless headphones and chicken eggs, raw milk. There's a lot to get to.
Well, I have friends that are very interested in those magnetic fields, including one who carries a meter around apparently because he said, "Have you heard about this story in San Francisco?" And then he took a picture of the meter that he had in his lap, and I went, "Oh, this is great."
Well, you used to have
children.
You used to have a friend who was very much into chickens, and that friend's subordinate is out in the hallway right now. Chris Rucker just walked into the radio station.
Oh, I remember when he would come in, we would butt heads. He'd be playing Saxon as loud as it would go, insisting that he liked it. He would be playing the worst heavy metal music. He loved horrible, horrible heavy metal music.
Is Beetle finally ready to cross?
I can't get any of those guys to pay attention, and the show's over in like 30 seconds.
Beetle can't hear us.
I texted him both 5 minutes ago.
No, he's pointing to his headphones. He can't hear us.
No, let's forget it.
It's not our end. It's his end. He's not getting any sound.
They were busy glad handing.
No, come on.
All right. Well, who were you talking to back there?
Hey, what's up?
Who was that?
I'm talking to Mike Thomas's brother. That's Mike Thomas's brother, Bruce Gilbert.
Oh.
He was part of the Jim Gray situation.
Oh,
he
yeah.
was.
He definitely was.
He was the first guy Jim Gray called in order to get.
Do you want me to ask him how Jim Gray's doing?
I think I would know.
No, you don't want to know? Just as
No, I think I would know. He's just. I would imagine he's just chasing Brady around.
Yeah.
Wherever Brady is, Jim Gray's not far behind.
Yeah.
How is it? How was last night for you guys?
It was not a great with the guests we got. The setup was kind of strange, but it was great for us. You'll hear the interviews today.
Got the guys we wanted.
We talked to Stretch.
Oh, you did? Oh.
Yeah, we got Stretch and Josh McDaniels, and it was fun.
All right. So that's some Patriots coming on the show today.
Yeah.
All
Today
right.
we got Katie Nolan today. Mike Reese will be with us for the first hour. Then we have Katie Nolan and Chris Lindstrom, local hero Chris Lindstrom, back in the Pro Bowl again. He's playing here tonight. Chris Sims is here.
How many muffins today, Zoe?
Just one.
One muffin?
Yeah, I had the cranberry one. Excellent here. Again, I came in walking in ripping Miami. I like, Beetle, look at this. All it takes is a little effort. Just a little effort saying, hey, welcome to our city. We want you to have a great time here.
It was only one muffin today?
One muffin.
It was 3 yesterday. How'd you
I
go
know,
from 3 to 1?
because they didn't have the blueberry. They only had the cranberry.
I had the blueberry. That's what I got.
I didn't get the cranberry.
You didn't look close enough.
Cranberry was good.
You got a lot of fruit. A lot of fruit.
Man.
Healthy.
Yeah.
Healthy.
Excellent.
Yeah, he's
watermelon.
It's a picture of health.
Hey, Hardy, did you see the cop car out there?
Yes, Zoe sent me a picture of a San Francisco of a cop car SUV. It looks like a 1992 Suburban.
It's awesome. I saw it. I was like, so look at this.
82.
Yeah.
Well, Maz had that video of them being in a cab with no driver.
Waymo.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Don't trust that.
No, I don't like that at all.
I thought it would be far more like disorienting and like weird. It wasn't at all.
Did you? So you were in it?
Yeah. It didn't feel strange.
Did you take it? Were you in the city the whole time?
Yeah, we went about 2 miles. in it.
Okay.
2.5 miles from where we were down to the piers, and after the first minute of being in the car, you sort of forget that that's what's going on.
Yeah.
It's not that weird.
That's the first thing in my lifetime that's really freaked me out. Like
Yeah,
that
I thought it was gonna
technology's
scare the hell
freaked
out of
me
me.
Yeah,
And it really didn't.
Okay. All right. Well, listen.
Hardy, there's a strip club next to the hotel.
How
Right
is
next
it?
door, attached to it.
How is it?
I don't know. Just found it today.
What's the name of it?
Crazy Horse.
Crazy Horse.
I've been there. I remember the name of a dancer there. I remember the name of the girl that was dancing for me there.
What was her name?
I'll tell you all that.
Bambi.
All right.
Go and see if she's still there, Fred.
If she is, she's probably looking really good. All right. You guys